It's a quiet, windless night. It's past midnight. Darkness blankets the sky. The town itself is like a dark sea, illuminated only by moonlight. Overhead, the clouds move across the sky. At ground level, there's not a breath of wind. Higher up, the air must be roaring as the clouds swim by. There's at least some wind. Maybe she hears the inaudible wind. She mutters quietly as she looks up into the windy sky. The young girl known as Saber stands quietly in the middle of the yard, glaring up at the sky. Her golden hair is beautiful even in the dark of the night. Her green eyes remain on the moon as it flickers in and out of view. She glances towards the corner of the yard at once. There is an old shed. Her lord sleeps there. If you say you will not fight, fine. Oh shit. There is a heavy clang. The sound of iron melts into the darkness without reaching anyone's ears. The moon hides, then reveals itself once again. Where's my drink bottle? There it is. As the clouds above float past, the girl's appearance changes radically. Solid, heavy armor. She can no longer be called a girl in her blue raiment. Now, she is shrouded in steely armor woven of magical energy intense enough that it would overwhelm all others. In her hand she holds an invisible sword, concealed by the same magical energy that surpasses human understanding. The figure once considered undefeatable in the battlefield proves that someone like her still exists in this day and age. Though her sword is invisible, the majestic air she exudes proves her exceptional skill as a swordsman. This is what has made her Saber, the hero of the sword, said to be the strongest of all the seven servants. A knight among knights who remains ever civil and acts according to her lord's will. Are they about to reveal who she is? Whatever the other heroic spirits may be like, she remains the ideal swordsman who would never defy her lord. But that ends tonight. She is here defying her lord's orders. Rather, she is not truly disobeying her lord. This is her way of bringing her lord victory, the result of her own determination. Okay. He is too naive. If he continues on this path, it will only lead to death at another master's hands. But this master will never change his ways. Then it must be her duty to be heartless. If her master will not fight, then his sword must. My wounds have not healed. I cannot expect a supply of magical energy from master. But that still poses no hindrance in battle. After confirming her own ability, she returns her gaze to the moon. She has no concern for the shed where her lord sleeps any longer. Now that she is armed and wearing her armor, the only thing on her mind is defeating her enemies. Okay, alright, are we finally seeing like a significant divergence from the story that I know? And I mean, I say divergence as if this isn't the original story, but like, because I feel like so much of it up until this point has been very, very similar to the other routes. But now she's going solo. That I don't think that's ever happened with Saber. I don't think she's ever done anything solo in her life. I mean, in her servant life, you know, that I've seen. The moment a large cloud covers the sky, Saber jumps over the walls of the mansion grounds. That was cool. She runs through the darkness. The silvery swordsman rushes through the sleeping town. She has but one destination, Ryudo Temple, sitting at the heart of the sacred mountain on the town's outskirts. Even Saber understands how difficult it would be to single-handedly defeat the master lurking in the temple. Shiro is correct. She is bound to suffer great injury, or at worst, die herself. But how can she call herself a servant if she cannot do the impossible? Servants are driven by their superior abilities and unassailable pride. They are proud as heroes, and have earned that confidence in the numerous battles they fought. As heroic spirits whose lore has been passed down and respected since ancient times, they cannot lose, no matter who they face. She cannot even imagine defeat. She is no exception, however much of her innocence may still be left to her. Being granted the title of Saber is all the more reason she cannot ignore that pride. And that pride will not allow her to just sit by and do nothing when she can face her enemy. And so she must brave any traps that may await her, and face her enemy even if she is alone. If she has no chance of winning, then she must simply use her sword to create one. Her sword is a celebrated blade. It has cut countless enemies down. As long as she has invisible air, there's nothing for her to fear. She runs through the mountain pass and up the road leading to the temple. Alright, I'm really curious how this plays out. After she cuts through the mountain pass, an imposing stone staircase awaits her. Ooh, this is the first time we've seen the staircase in the game, right? Ah, this is certainly... It is certainly different than the Rito temple she remembers. The air is stagnant, the wind is barren, the land's lifeline was contaminated long ago. This place is a land of death. The moment one enters, there can be no escape. She does not hesitate. Saber does not so much as break stride as she runs up the steps. Scenery flies by, her footsteps echo on the stone stairs and the mountain begins to stir. The stairs are long, stretching across a great distance. The temple gates are far even for Saber, who shoots up the stair like an arrow. So long are the stairs that it is impossible for one to pass through the gate undetected. An ambush surely awaits along the way. Reaching the gate will not be easy. Whatever schemes may await her, she must simply smash through them and keep moving. Nothing will stop her. Even were Berserker to appear before her, she would break through. Such is her determination, her confidence. She's reached the top. Just as she's about to reach the temple gates, the obstacle presents itself. Assassin, 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 assassin. There's his long sword. I just dropped something, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. Saber stops. Despite her determination to push through no matter what enemy she faces, she's surprised by what she finds. It appears so naturally, like a breeze. The man appears before her, lacking any trace of enmity, but leaves not a single opening for an attack. You... Saber stops and readies her invisible sword. The man before her, backlit by the moon, ignores Saber's menacing glare as if it were nothing to him. Samurai? She has heard about them, but she's bewildered by the sight of one. This is her second Holy Grail war. Even though she's seen many other heroic spirits, this is her first time seeing a servant like him. I love the art in this game, man. Sweat beads on Saber's brow. She isn't afraid. Rather, she's struggling to comprehend the situation. It's not as if she's never encountered strange servants. Certainly there was no stranger and more mysterious servant than the archer of the previous war. Gilgamesh. For a second I was like, who was the archer of the previous war? Yeah. It is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. By comparison, the servant before her is hardly frightening and possesses no incredible weaponry. And that is exactly what makes it strange. She senses nothing from the man. There is no doubt he is a servant, but he seems to possess neither a noble phantasm nor magical energy. He should be an easy foe. Their fight should end in a single blow, but her instincts give her one simple warning. Don't underestimate him. This servant has a means of inflicting instant death. She can't get closer. His katana is unconventionally long for a Japanese sword, making it hard to gauge spacing, but more than that, Saber's position puts her at a huge disadvantage. The man stands at the top of the stairs and Saber stands below him. He's about 5 meters from her. His sword will reach her before she can rush him, but she feels nothing from his sword. Repelling it should be easy. She should not be afraid to step in, but Saber senses somehow that she should not. Saber adjusts her grip on her sword and glares at the enemy ahead of her. She may not know his identity, but she should at least be able to determine his class. I ask of you, what servant are you? Saber doesn't expect an answer. After a brief smile, servant, assassin, Sasuke Kojiro. The servant's reply is given in a sing-song voice. What? Saber cannot help but be surprised. Servants generally conceal their identities. What sort of servant would so bluntly and proudly give his name? You... Why? Why? What a boorish question. It is only polite to introduce myself before a duel, all the more so against an opponent so beautiful as you. How odd, then, that you should react as you have." The man who introduced himself as Sasaki Kojiro, the assassin, appears to enjoy Saber's confusion. There's no way Saber knows. She has no idea this servant is a swordsman who wields a longsword called Monohoshizao, and was rumored to have been an unrivaled swordsman during the Keicho era in Japan. Knowing, of course, would change nothing. The man's origin is unknown, and even his existence is uncertain. Listen to this music. It's quite a intense introduction to his character. His story was told only by word of mouth, and there is perhaps only one person in the world who knows the true identity of the man who was hailed as the greatest swordsman in the world, the man who never left a mark in history, but was Sasaki Kojiro's archenemy, and the only one to have ever defeated him. So how can this man be called a hero? The assassin, Sasaki Kojiro, is a presence far removed from Saber herself. Who among heroic spirits could know the abilities of the swordsman who could not himself normally be a heroic spirit? However, two things are clear for her. One is that the man before her is an enemy, and the other is that he has willingly identified himself. You are certainly correct. A knight's honor demands revealing oneself when addressed, and that one should return the gesture in kind. Saber's voice is grave. Revealing her true name possesses an immense risk. She cannot reveal her true name even under torture, nor does she have any intention of doing so. However, this is only in the name of her pursuit of victory. For this same reason, she cannot tarnish her knight's honor. Kojiro, you said. Assassin. I am... Say no more. I know you are the sort who must give your name in kind if I do so first. It was I who was boorish. The man descends the stairs gracefully. Assassin confronts Saber, taking slow steps down the stairs. I need not know my enemy in this way. If we are to battle, we shall speak with our blades. Am I wrong, Saber? What? This should be no surprise. I do not know what you are holding, but the murderous intent surrounding you most certainly belongs to a swordsman. That beautiful, dazzling aura of a swordsman. You can only be Saber. He takes a step closer. Assassin descends the stone steps, and he points his sword at Saber. I do not care to know your true name. All that matters to me is that the servant known as Saber falls by my blade. There is nothing to discuss. Is that not what it is to be a servant in any case? The swordsman laughs joyfully. I see. Yes, that is true. As Saber speaks, she readies her sword. That's the spirit. Then let us duel, Saber. I must see your swordsmanship, said to be the greatest of all servants. A silver light leaps, solid and soft. The battle between the two very different swordsmen begins under the moonlight. Are we just cutting away now? New servant data added. Nice. Interlude out. That was an interlude. I see. Interesting interlude. I mean, it was an interlude that was pretty major story beats, but it wasn't following Shiro, you know? I feel like interlude means we're cutting away from the main character for a little bit and jump into something else. I wake up to a searing pain in my chest. It is also interesting that it was written all in third person. Like, there was a narrator there, where normally, like, the person who we're controlling is the narrator, you know? It feels like I've just had a bad dream. Why does my chest hurt? My heart feels like it's burning. I feel that. I've had some heartburn recently. In fact, I just took something for my heartburn just now. Actually, it feels more like heat from outside has been forced into my body. From outside? I doubt myself briefly, but before I can think of what it might be, I find myself rushing outside. Saber, are you here? I open the sliding screen door to Saber's room. She's not here. Don't tell me she... No, there's no doubt. If she's not here, she went to Ryudo Temple on her own. That idiot, why? She hasn't healed, so why would she... I'm so angry my head is starting to hurt. See, I feel like at this point, in panic, I'd probably command steal her back. Although I don't know if Shiro knows that's how it works. But that's probably what I'd do. Because I'd be like, I don't know where she is. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if she's in danger. I don't know anything. And I'd just be like, I'm just command stealing you back. And if I find out you were in the middle of a battle and you're like, I was about to beat him and then you command stealed me back, I'd be like, well, you shouldn't have fucking left without my permission. So what did we learn? I didn't tell her I wasn't gonna fight. I just didn't want her to get hurt like that again. There's no point in fuming here. I need to hurry to Ryoto Temple. I can't let Saber fight alone. You better bring Reen or something. Well, I don't know what good I can do her, but if I get there, maybe I can do something. Bring Reen! She's a girl. Why can't she just behave herself? I run. I don't even take the time to change. Out front, I grab a bike and pedal as fast as I can. I pedal down the hill without braking. It'll take at least 40 minutes to Ryoto Temple if I rush. I don't know how long it's been since Saber left, but I need to get to her as fast as I can. Man, rushing for 40 minutes on a bike. We're back to the interlude? That was a short extra thing. The blades cross. The edges of both swords come into contact again and again, stroke after stroke. Sword and katana alike spark as they strike and parry. Cool. Several dozen exchanges like this later and neither opponent has changed position. Assassin standing higher on the steps holds his ground. Saber, who is trying to advance up the stone steps, can't get any closer to Assassin. Over time she bleeds more and more energy. One of Saber's many attempts at rushing in. Assassin effortlessly swings his long blade, fully 1.5 meters, and halts Saber's advances. No, he's not simply preventing an advance. If Saber's blade is lightning, Assassin's katana is a hurricane. Though Assassin may be no match for her in strength or speed, the flexible trajectory of his blade sweeps aside Saber's every attack. The ricocheting katana gains speed and flips back towards Saber's neck like a gust of wind. I do like the effects that they do on these scenes to show the momentum of battle. Even as Saber dodges a blow by a hair's breadth, the long katana flicks back toward her, giving her not a moment's rest. In contrast to Saber's straight sword, Assassin's blade is curved. Assassin's cutting edge is graceful, but it also draws a long extended arc. He shouldn't be able to match Saber's sword as it moves in a straight line, but he somehow cancels out that difference. Ugh. Okay, sorry. I paused the recording to get myself some water, and then my game crashed while I was like getting water. I came back and it wasn't open and it crashed. So I had to open up the game again and get back to around where I was. I'm a little further than where I was, I think. It must be owed to the enemy's superb skills and her own position below him, which puts her at a disadvantage. Saber bites her lip, thinking she wouldn't have such a hard time against that long katana if they were on flat ground. This is certainly a problem. This is certainly a problem. I had not expected fighting against an invisible blade would be so challenging. Assassin is unmoved. He is fighting purely to defend. He needs not chase after a retreating Saber, nor does he have any reason to give up the advantage of higher ground. This must be the first time you've seen a katana, yes? My sword is quite wicked. An ordinary opponent would fall to but a single blow. You, on the other hand, have evaded it spectacularly. This pleases me, Saber. Additionally, your cut-in technique is marvelous. You were able to do so much with that small frame of yours. You must be impeccably trained. Assassin watches Saber, his posture relaxed, perhaps simply because he needn't go on the offensive. The tip of his blade wavers, losing strength, but Saber cannot seize the opportunity. The man is not holding a stance. A long katana like that can only be wielded as long as the wielder is able to swing the sword from any position. Is something the matter? Surely you are not done. That invisible sword is not simply for show, is it? Huh! You do not know when to stop talking! A sword and katana clash. I have you now! The The longsword stops mid-swing. Assassin grins, glancing at his katana where it stopped the invisible sword, then parries again. While Saber catches the flash coming at her neck. Gah! Even Saber knows. She's been able to block Assassin's unfamiliar sword work thanks to her invisible sword. Her invisible sword could confuse the opponent's senses, both offensively and defensively. Assassin not following through on his attacks is proof of this. Not knowing how long Saber's sword is makes it too dangerous for Assassin to come close in on her. If Assassin were to step in to attack Saber, he will do so when Saber tries to smash Assassin's forehead. That attack. Assassin dodges it completely as he takes just a step back. Ah, I have a good idea of its length now. It is roughly 3 shaku long and 4 sun wide. Its shape, let's see, as befits your name, is that of a typical Western sword. Assassin may have spoken calmly, but his exceptional skill at appraising the blade is clear. Saber's strike had been so fast that even with her sword visible, it would have been almost impossible to see. And yet, not only has he managed to defend himself from the invisible blade, he also figured out its size and shape. I cannot believe it. You have measured my sword without employing any magecraft or having a satisfying exchange with our blades. Surprise. However, this is but the trick of a mere street performer, in my opinion. As a wielder of a wicked sword, such tricks are the only things I get to practice. I see. Your strategy was simply to parry my strikes and avoid being wounded. I can see now why a coward like you would call himself a wicked swordsman. Well, you must forgive me for not properly trading blows with you. You see, I have this long katana. Were I to properly lock blades with you, it would certainly break. You must be the sort to go all out, but I cannot. I am unable to put my full might into every strike with this katana. So it has always been with the katana. Western swords cut with sheer weight and power. Our blades, however, rely upon speed and technique. Do you see now how different our fighting styles are? But then again, it would be disappointing to leave matters like this. Now, Saber, I believe the time has come to stop concealing your true power. Assassin, do you believe I am taking it easy on you? Are you saying you are not? I do not know what your intentions are, but for you to fight with your sheath on is somewhat insulting. Do you believe that I am unworthy of being taken seriously as your opponent? With the sheath on? Is she actually? Ah, you do not seem as though you intend to comply. Very well. If you decline to reveal your own, then I shall show you my secret technique first. And with that, the swordsman with the long katana drifts down next to Saber. What? For an assassin to give up his advantageous position is as good as inviting defeat. He may be a superb swordsman, but it was the landscape of their battleground that gave him the advantage. If the two were able to fight on level ground, Saber should have no trouble repelling Assassin's attack and taking his head then and there. This is the same as in Unlimited Blade Works, right? Pretty sure this exact thing happens. Assassin should know this as well. So why? Brace yourself, or you will die, Saber. Saber instinctively reacts to the smoothness in his voice, for he is speaking the truth. Assassin descending the steps has not put her in an advantageous position. This music's insane. Her intuition, which has enabled her to triumph in so many battles, warns her of her mistake. She readies her invisible sword. There's no room to hesitate. What matters is that she has to attack with her sword before Assassin swings his long katana. Phew. Roughly 3 meters separates the two. His readies himself. Should that say he readies himself, or? Anyway. The stance he takes now is one he has not taken in their battle so far. Secret technique, Saber charges. The long katana is meaningless now. The moment she draws near Assassin, the katana will become a liability to him, and yet... Swallow reversal. Such logic means little to a swordsman like him. Lightning strikes, faster even than Saber's blade. The demonic blow strikes down in a single straight line. Ugh. But it's not as if Saber cannot block such an attack. She quickly raises her sword to defend, repelling Assassin's attack. I got you! Even Assassin will be left open after an attack like that is turned aside. In that split-second interval, as Saber attempts to cut through Assassin's stomach. Ah! Oh, there's the triple. Bling, bling, bling. Swiftly, trusting in her instincts, Saber rolls down the stone steps. She rolls away as if she was fleeing. She makes no effort even to soften her landing. All Saber does is frantically hurl herself down the stairs, slowing for nothing, because if she didn't, she would have died. Saber stops rolling and gets to her feet. Above her on the stairs, she sees the swordsman standing at his ease. Ah, you managed to evade my secret technique. I should expect no less, Saber. You are far and away the superior of a swallow. I cannot believe it. That was... Ah, it is nothing to be impressed by. It's something I thought up when I considered how to slay a swallow. He raises his long katana up high. The motion is done as if to mimic the demonic sword motions he demonstrated earlier to intimidate Saber. Can you see this, Saber? Swallows avoid attacks by trying to catch the wind. Fast or slow, it does not matter. A sword always disturbs the atmosphere, no matter what sort it might be. Swallows feel that tremor and react by changing the direction in which they are flying. And so, no attack can slay a swallow. A sword can only move along a single line. It cannot catch a swallow, which can fly through the air in all directions. So your only option is to deny them any path of escape. The first sword attacks the swallow, and the second sword surrounds the escaping swallow as it reads those movements. But they are fast. Long as this katana is, the second sword would surely not reach the swallow in time. If I hoped to capture the swallow, I would need to strike with the second sword at the very same instant as the first, but such is well beyond human ability. I accepted the truth of this impossibility, however. Unfortunately for you, I had nothing better to do with my time. They say determination is the key to success, and the next thing I knew I had managed it. A simple, worthless idea like killing a swallow became a secret technique that created a prison by employing multiple simultaneous strikes of the sword. Saber cannot help but disagree with his matter-of-fact narrative. It is untrue. His technique is not as simple as he claims. Execute 2 attacks simultaneously? Impossible. The 2 blades struck at exactly the same time. In that moment, there existed 2 separate katana. Kisha Zelrach, a multi-dimensional refraction phenomenon. A servant whose skills reach the level of a noble phantasm without using magecraft, but by skill alone. It is most certainly to be admired. That single blow made it very clear. Sasaki Kojiro does not possess a noble phantasm as heroic spirits typically do. All he has is his magical sword and its sheer power, reaching the realm of the gods. What's astonishing is that this man, a mere human, has managed to stand on equal ground with a heroic spirit who possesses a noble phantasm. But my footing was bad. My swallow reversal typically employs 3 slices. If I had more room, I could have added my horizontal slash. I would assume so, otherwise the attack would be incomplete. If everything were to happen at the same time, the second sword's trajectory would naturally slow down. To compensate, there must be a 3rd horizontal attack to prevent the opponent from escaping to the side. Ah, quick study indeed. No wonder you managed to evade my secret technique. Huh, how wonderful, Saber. I had so cursed my summoning to this material world, but that lament ends tonight. An opportunity to face an opponent that would have been impossible in my lifetime, and a chance to use my secret attack on them is enough to make this summoning well worth it. Assassin readies his sword again and descends the stone steps. He must be after Saber's head. Saber is not confident. Saber is not confident she will be able to... I think that's another typo. She will be able to dodge that secret technique again. Like Lance's Gayborg, Assassin's Swallow Reversal is a technique that one cannot allow the wielder to use. Except, unlike Gayborg, against which one can defend once they understand what it is and know that it will strike at the heart, there is no defense against Assassin's secret technique. It cannot be evaded, even when one knows what it is. If there is a defense, it lies in preventing him from using the attack. The only way to defeat him is to deliver a devastating blow before Assassin can unleash his secret technique. Oh. This is cool, but this also was all in the anime. So far, at least. Which is like, that's the thing. I was very excited because I was like, oh, Saber's going off on her own without Shiro's permission. Like, this seems like this is all new. But then we got to this place and it's actually the same scene. just with her being there on her own without permission rather than with permission. So yeah, I mean, eventually I'll get to scenes I haven't seen before. I see. I should not have taken it so easy on you. She lowers both her hands. Saber drops the tip of her invisible sword as if driving to the ground and glares up at Assassin as he approaches. Oh, so you finally resolved to go all out, Saber? Assassin stops descending the steps and readies his secret technique once more. Saber looks at him bravely. I too have no complaints. Will you be able to endure my attack, Assassin? Saber releases her own restraints. The air trembles. As if responding to her will, her sword releases a torrential gust of wind. Huh! Assassin retreats several steps. The gale force winds released from Saber's sword are extraordinary. Even the thick trees on either side of the temple gates creak and groan. There we go. Now we're seeing Saber's real strength. So strong as the wind, it all but explodes outward from her blade. The atmosphere sealed within is released and roars outward in all directions. Saber's sword releases a gust of wind that could easily carry off a human being. This is her blade's power. The invisible air, as the name implies, a sword that is sealed up wind. The sword, sheathed in compressed wind, reflects and refracts light to give it the appearance of being invisible. This is what happens when the wind is released. The released air seeks escape, and it dissipates into its surroundings in chaotic gusts. During that time, her sword's commanding magecraft allows her to freely manipulate the raging wind. As Saber possesses incredible amounts of magical energy, she should be able to maintain the bounded field for a few minutes. The truth of this is made apparent by the fact that her sword, even after releasing so much energy, remains invisible. I was wondering about that. This is like a typhoon. However, the howling wind does not die down. The unleashed winds are about to engulf Assassin. This cannot be all of it. I shall see every skill you have concealed, Saber! Assassin closes in, despite the raging, blinding wind. Saber's arm moves. The wind-infused blade roars, readying itself to intercept Assassin, who advances calmly, slowly in spite of the gale force winds, strong enough to prevent most people from even approaching. Interlude out. So it's not saying interlude end, it's saying interlude out. Like, we're jumping out of this scene for now. Is this when Shiro arrives? What the hell is that? When I reach Ryoto Temple, I'm greeted by the sound of air rushing at me like a typhoon. That must be Saber over there. At the top of the stairs in front of the temple gates, I see an armored figure who must be Saber fighting someone wearing a kimono. The wind swirls around Saber, and the surrounding trees creak under the gale force intensity. Wait, damn. I don't think I can get close. The wind is so intense, I can't even keep my eyes open. Head down, I manage to fight my way closer to the stairs, but the wind only gets stronger. At this rate, I can't get closer to Saber. Far ahead, I can see Saber's fighting someone, but I can't do anything. No, even if I manage to get closer to Saber in this wind, I'll only hold her back. Ugh, my left hand hurts again. The command spells engraved on the back of my hand tingle. I don't know what that means, but every time my hand tingles, I can't help but to remember that scene. Damn it! Screw this! I close my eyes and stretch my hands towards the stairs. I get down on my hands and knees, hoping to avoid being blown off my feet, and began crawling up the stairs. Ugh, The wind intensifies. Even a novice mage like me can tell incredible amounts of magical energy are raging above me. My command spells tingle. The roar of the wind warns me something's happening up above. Wait, could this be Saber's magical energy? If it is, why would she do something so reckless in her state? No, should she even be doing something like that? Saber can't recover magical energy. She shouldn't be wasting it like this. I need to step in and handle the fighting and have Saber support me instead, or else she might run out of magical energy. I stand up and start running up the stairs. Now's not the time to be crawling. I don't know what Saber has in mind, but I have to stop her. Huh? As I try to dash in the temple gate, something like a dagger flies right by me. What? I don't know what miracle let me dodge it. Who's there? I turn to look away from the stairs into the trees. There's no doubt about it. I didn't notice it in this torrential wind, but there's something hiding nearby. You coward! Quit hiding and come out! I shout for whoever's hiding in the tree line. The strong wind should have drowned my voice out. To my surprise, the voice echoes up the stairs. The wind died down? I look up toward the temple gate. There. Oh, did he just throw the dagger? I see a man in a kimono wielding a long sword and Saber's back. That's enough, Saber. Someone's trying to steal a glance at your secret sword. The man in the kimono smiles as he speaks. Like me, he's staring out into the forest. No, yeah, it was someone else. But like, okay, thinking about it, like, Archer uses daggers, but I mean, maybe Archer's trying to kill Shiro now, but I doubt it. And like, original assassin, you know, but I don't think original assassin's gonna be in this. By that I mean like the assassin that not original assassin, but like the assassin that was in Heaven's Feel, you know, that assassin. But yeah, I doubt he's gonna be in this. Other than that, who was throwing daggers, dude? If we continue, neither of us will emerge victorious. Whoever hides so cravenly in the trees may attack whoever survives our duel, or they may simply be observing, hoping to learn about your hidden blade. In either case, I do not care to involve myself. The man turns to climb the stairs, seemingly totally disinterested. Stop! Do you not intend to settle our match, assassin? Should you attempt to pass through the temple gates once again, we shall settle things. I will not allow any to pass this gate, no matter who they may be. That, unfortunately, is my only role. If you plan on turning back, I have no intention of stopping you. That fool hiding in the trees, though, is another matter. Should I find myself disliking them, I will not allow them in, even dead, nor will I let them leave alive. Assassin continues up the stairs. You were manipulated, Saber, but the same goes for me, as I did not notice whoever's lurking in the shadows. Had we continued, I could have shown you the power of my secret technique, but we were interrupted. You should consider yourself fortunate. Gah! Saber hangs her head in regret. Her intent to kill fades, not because of Assassin's words, but because Saber must have realized that keeping up the fight would leave her at a disadvantage. Come now, your escort's here too. That boy over there must be your master. I suggest you leave this place before the fool spying on us decides to target him. And just like that, Assassin disappears. It must be his way of telling us that he won't attack unless we keep going. His way of telling you? He pretty much said that exactly. It wasn't being subtle about it. He said, if you keep going, I'll kill you. Saber says nothing. She just stands there silently, her back to me. Hey, Saber? Even when I call to her, she doesn't answer. Huh? It seems strange, so I begin climbing the steps. What? Saber's armor vanishes. Defenseless and in her simple blue clothing, she sways on the spot without turning around. Is she about to collapse? Ah! I catch Saber. Yeah, she is. Catch Saber in my arms as she falls backwards down the stairs. She doesn't move a muscle. She's unconscious, eyes shut in pain. Damn, man. You managed to drag her back? How? Wasn't it a 45-minute bike ride? And this is a girl. Oh, she was not wearing the armor anymore, but still, like dragging a girl back, an unconscious girl back 45 minutes. Like 45 minutes if you're using the bike, which I doubt he would be. We finally get home. It took me 2 hours. There you go. It took me 2 hours to carry Saber back from Ryoto Temple. I was worried the whole return trip, but we managed to get back safely. I lay Saber down in the hallway. Saber was really light. She probably only weighs about 40 kilos, so it shouldn't have tired me out so much. I don't know, dude. I think it's fair if you're carrying a whole ass person. Like, yeah, she's probably light. It said she's 40 kilos, but even so, you're carrying a whole ass person 2 hours in the dark after already biking the whole way there for 45 minutes. So you already used a lot of your energy, or it wouldn't have if she'd been here still. If she'd been still, I had no idea that carrying a sleeping person, even a girl, could be so much work. My fatigue is more mental than physical. The feel of her soft skin when I picked her up, her quiet breathing on me, it was all so distracting. Keep it in your pants, dude. Why'd you just faint like that? I look at Saber as she lays there sleeping. She's probably not completely unconscious. Like, I get it. Saber's cute as fuck. Cute as fuck. But, like, we had bigger fish to fry. Even if she looks like she's out cold, she might open her eyes the moment I call her name. Damn. There was so much I wanted to tell her when I left the house, but I can't say anything with her sleeping, looking like that. Fine, I'll give you an earful after you wake up, Saber. Even now, I keep my voice to a whisper, the moment I reach out to pick her up again. Look, I don't care what you're into or what you plan on doing next. It's really not my business, but I'm just guessing it's Rin. Yeah? For some reason, Tosaka's in the hallway watching, even though it's after 2 in the morning. Tosaka! I tried to get the right amount of tease. What? You look like you just saw a ghost. I'm not going to say anything, so you just go ahead and do whatever you were going to do. I just got up to get a glass of water. You got it all wrong. This isn't what you think, really. I mean, it's a long story, but the short version is that I was trying to take Saber back to her room. Are you even listening to me? Well, yes, sort of. You're lying. You sound like you don't understand at all. I got it, okay? Saber went out to fight on her own and you rushed off to stop her, right? Something bad happened and you both came back after Saber fainted. So did I nail it? Yeah, that's amazing. That's exactly what happened. But how do you know? How could I not? Saber was obviously going to go off on her own, and a master is immediately alerted to a servant entering battle. It wasn't hard to figure out. I see. I guess that's fine then. I didn't know a servant. That was what the throbbing command seals were. I didn't know they were alerted. So Tosaka knew Saber would go out by herself. So what are you going to do? Aren't you going to take Saber to her room? If you let her sleep here, I'm sure even a servant would catch a cold. Well, yeah, that's why I was going to take her to her room. I tried to lift her up, but... it's kind of awkward with Tosaka watching. Tosaka, would you mind carrying Saber? Me? I mean, I guess, but would you make some tea then? I want to hear what happened. Tosaka picks Saber up. Her being so understanding has me a little worried, but since I asked her for a favor, I'd better go make some tea. See, that's what I like about this Tosaka. Like, she's way more understanding and patient. I mean, I like the tsundere, like full tsundere Tosaka as well, but yeah, like this is like a more subtle version of the character. I like it. Tosaka carries Saber off toward my room. Meanwhile, I work on preparing the tea in the kitchen. Like, so far in this game, I've been enjoying playing this game, right? I have been. I've been enjoying going through this visual novel. But so far, I haven't felt anything substantial in the story because all the substantial things in the story I have seen in some form or another before. So really, like, the differences is the small little bits of characterization that I felt. The story's going differently, for sure. Saber never ran off on her own in Unlimited Blade Works, and we didn't have to drag her back or whatever, right? Like, that doesn't happen in Unlimited Blade Works. But a Saber versus Assassin fight, which doesn't get completed, where Assassin got to show off the swallow technique, but then he showed it off just enough that she could dodge out of the way, but then didn't get to do it a second time, and then their fight was paused and they planned to do it later. That whole thing did happen in Unlimited Blade Works. So, like, the story beats that I'm getting, they're still majorly the same thing. So in terms of story, I still haven't been fully, like, hit with anything that I'm like, oh my god, I really need to see how this plays out, you know? And I wonder if that is even gonna happen, you know? Like, I wonder if pretty much the rest of it, like, I feel like the finale is gonna be different when we get up to the end. And I mean, there's been some, you know, like the Shinji and Shiro talk where they, like, got together and, like, we went to the Mato house to talk about, like, that was different, you know? But I don't feel like those were major story beats. That was, like, a cool extra scene or whatever, but it wasn't, like, major story beats yet. But all this to say, like, I'm still waiting on that. And it's taken a long time to get to that. Like, it's taken longer than I thought to get to it diverging a lot. Like, I thought it would be diverging a lot quicker. I was saying this for a reason. But that what I was gonna say is, so, like, in terms of the actual, you know, how worth it I feel like it has been to play Fate Stay Night, the visual novel, so far, it hasn't been super worth it for me, you know, even though I do recognize a lot of these cool things about it, and it's cool to play it originally. So far, it hasn't been super worth it. But if we do get up to the point where the story's feeling super different and there's, like, cool shit happening that I'm more engaged by and more interested in, that feels different, and we have these different characterizations, like these more subtle, more interesting characterizations of these characters, or at least of Rin. I feel like Shiro I kind of like more in the anime than I like in the game, but I think that's just, like, I almost know too much about Shiro in the game. Whereas, like, I actually don't want to know, like, his sort of teenage boy thoughts quite as much. I preferred it when we just saw it with blushes on his face rather than hearing all the thoughts that he had. But I still like Shiro in the game as well. I like that he's, like, he stands up for himself, and he seems a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? He seems more assertive in the game, which is a good thing, I think. Where it's like he doesn't feel as, I mean, he's still very much a passenger in this war, but he doesn't feel as much like a passenger because it seems like he's like, you know, it's like the moments that I know of Shiro are really assertive, right? He is a very stubborn guy, and we know that about him because of all of Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel and all of that. But it seems like it's mostly his, like, major moments where he's assertive, whereas the rest of the time he's a pretty, like, nice, soft guy. But I feel like in this game he's actually assertive way more often, like, just even in regular conversations. So I think that's interesting. I love Tosaka's characterization in this game so far. I like Sakura's as well. Shinji's an asshole as ever, but, you know, we knew that. So it's like, the teacher, Fujine, is maybe worse in the game, just because like the tonal difference of her character is, like, so crazy. But yeah, all this to say, I like seeing these character changes. So, like, that's been keeping me engaged more in the game. That's what's been keeping me going and keeping me from, like, not continuing doing this. But yeah, so what was I saying? I keep losing my train of thought. I think this ticking noise is screwing with my train of thought. But yeah, if we get up to a point where the story is going to be very different, then I'm going to be hopefully engaged by the character work and the story at the same time, rather than just getting, like, little interesting bits of the story that I already know and the character work. She said tea, but I'm assuming she doesn't want green tea, but the only black tea I have is from tea bags. Well, if I don't have it, I don't have it. From tea bags? as opposed to tea leaves. I don't know that much about tea. What's the problem with tea bags? Like when I drink tea very rarely, and when I do drink from with tea bags. I do use tea bags, but I don't know much about it because my tea my tea is shit. Like, I mean, it's not shit. I take it, you know, with a lot of milk and sugar and all of that, you know. So so I'm not the person to ask about tea. I tell myself she can complain all she wants and start pouring the hot water over the bag. Shiro, do you have a minute? Tosaka comes back. Yeah, hold on, I'll be right there. I put 2 teacups on the tray and carry it out to the living room. And there... Oh, is Saber up? Sitting next to Tosaka is Saber in her normal clothes. Saber? Why? I thought you were asleep. She was, but it's not like she was going to sleep forever. She woke up. Looks like she used a ton of magical energy at once and just temporarily shut down. It's kind of like an electrical breaker tripping before it shorts out. Are we going to yell at Saber? Seeing her back to her usual self, all the frustrations I had earlier come rushing back. Saber, do you have any idea what you tried to do? Of course I do. I made my way to Ryudo Temple in Fort Assassin. During our battle, we noticed the presence of a third servant observing us, and so suspended our battle. No, that's not what I'm talking about! I want to know why you went and fought! Are we to revisit this once again? A servant fights. It is what we do. What I would like to know is why you, my master, keep telling me not to fight. Well, I do understand there's no way around fighting since I decided to participate in the Holy Grail War, and I know me telling Saber not to fight is me contradicting myself, but even so... I don't want to see something like that happen to her ever again. I would like to ask you instead. You seem to dislike combat. Do you truly expect to survive the Holy Grail War with that attitude? Do you not see that if we continue to follow this policy, we will only end up suffering defeat at the hands of other masters? It's not like that. I'll fight off anything that might pose a risk to us. I certainly don't intend to just let myself be killed so easily. But aside from that, I just don't want Saber to fight. Wrong. It's not that I dislike fighting. I just, this is much simpler than that. You see, girls shouldn't get hurt. I'm a guy, so I can't let that happen. So I'm gonna fight rather than let you fight. Immediately Tosaka put her hand on her face, which I understand. It's a stupid thing to say, Shiro. What? Are you saying I can't fight because I'm a woman? Are you out of your mind? A servant protects her master. We will be hurt in the doing. And are summoned for that very precise purpose. It doesn't say very there. I don't know why I added that. One's sex has nothing to do with being a servant. More importantly, are you treating me as a warrior or as a woman? I insist you take back what you have said, Shiro, please. Saber leans towards me, her eyes blazing with fury, as they should. But I won't let her change my mind. It's absurd for her to say she's a warrior before she's a woman. How could someone so frail, light enough for me to carry easily, go and behave so recklessly? No way in hell will I take back what I said. Sure, you might be strong, but you're still a girl. Don't get worked up over something so pointless, you fool. Yeah, see, this is the part of Shiro's character I hate. Like, I think this is an intentional character flaw. But, like, man, it sucks. It's just... I mean, I think I've always been kind of super against this. Like, I'm cool with you are a like the idea of you might be strong but you're still a girl. In principle, I like it. I like it in certain circumstances. I don't love when other people push it on the character, you know, like Shiro pushing it on Saber. But my example is like Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen, right? She herself states in the series that yes, she likes to fight. She likes being tomboyish. She likes to fuck shit up. But she also likes dresses and shopping and makeup. And, like, she likes feminine things. She also likes being masculine. And she's completely cool with both. I mean, my phone case is Nabara. And it says, Watashi ga watashi de aru tame domono. Which I think is from memory. Don't quote me fully on this. But it's something like, I am who I am, or I like the person I am, or something along those lines, right? And in that instance, you know, she is the one herself being like, don't you put me in a box. I can be a girl, and I can also be badass. I can like girly things. I can like masculine things. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, that's the sort of person I am, right? So, like, the idea of, like, you might be strong, but you're still a girl, in principle, is fine. However, saying you're a girl, therefore you shouldn't do blank, or I don't want to watch you do blank, or whatever, that's patronizing and pretty awful. I think it comes from a soft place. Shiro is not a douchebag for doing it, I don't think, because he's doing it in his mind for his morals and, like, and for her sake in his mind. But it still doesn't make it not shitty. Doesn't make it, like, not misogynistic. So, but I think it's an intentional character flaw from this writing, you know? I mean, especially since Saber is reacting with anger and Tosaka is reacting with, like, exasperation. I'm pretty sure it's a character flaw that the writer knows is a flaw of the character, and it's exploring that, which is fine. So I'm not saying it's bad writing or anything, I promise you. You don't have to defend the writing of the game right now, but yeah, still makes me like Shiro less. What? It is you who are getting worked up over something pointless. Are you saying you refuse to let a woman protect you? I'm already a heroic spirit, so you must let go of such trivialities. It's not trivial at all. Even if you don't think it's important, I do. Besides, it was a mistake from the beginning to have someone else fight on my behalf. I can't allow someone to protect someone as helpless as me. I don't want someone to get hurt in my place. I'm the one who should be doing the saving. See, now this is a more interesting character part that I find less upsetting. Because this is him, you know, this is what Tosaka talks about in Unlimited Blade Works, where she's like, you're always fucking not letting anyone else do anything, and you're always trying to sacrifice yourself instead, and that sucks, right? That's a definite character flaw that Shiro has that I think is interesting. And that they present both as something heroic and as also as a character flaw. That's solid. But it also speaks to him having a good character, even if it's not necessarily a good thing to do. It's good of his character to do so, you know? It's a nice thing for him to do, in a way. Whereas I don't think saying that you're a girl, so you shouldn't be getting hurt, you shouldn't be protecting me, you shouldn't be fighting, I don't think that's of good moral upstanding, moral character. I've been working so hard to become the kind of person who can help people, just like my old man. Damn it. Listen, just don't fight, Saber. I'll do the fighting. You shouldn't have a problem with that, since it'll be the fighting you want, Saber. Oh, she's so pissed. What? This is absurd. Do you think a human can fight a servant? You should already understand that you were no match for a servant. Please recall what happened when Lancer attacked you. Had I not appeared, you would have been killed. So it would be against any servant. You can't know that for sure unless we try. I just wasn't prepared, but now I can come up with tons of strategies. I might even be able to ambush one of them too. Do not make me laugh. Any defense you would employ would be no more useful than a sheaf of paper. What? I can't believe you'd say that, Saber. You are insulting servants. How can you possibly be so conceited as to believe that you, a mere human, could defeat a heroic spirit? Ah! Saber and I glare at each other. Our conversation is going nowhere, and there is no sign of reaching any kind of compromise. I do find this interesting. I do like Saber and Shiro butting heads more. I think that's interesting. But I think I mostly like it because I've seen so much of them not doing that. You know, I've seen a lot of them being amicable with one another. So now it's cool. It's like a change of pace. You've got it wrong, Saber. Shiro isn't insulting servants. This isn't going anywhere as long as you don't understand that much, so I'm stepping in. Thank you. She needs to be here to translate all the time. Reen, what do you mean by that? Well, you see, Shiro genuinely doesn't want you to get hurt. I don't know why, but Shiro is just a giant ball of dedication and goodwill. Am I right? Saber is more important to you than yourself, right? That's not true. I never said Saber's important to me. Why would you not say yes to that? Spare me. You wouldn't be ready to fight yourself if that weren't true. You know damn well you can't beat a servant, right? But saying you'll fight even so means Saber is more important to you than yourself. I mean, if she puts it like that, maybe, but... That's why you'll fight even if it sounds absurd. You'll try to win even if you know you don't have a chance, and you don't care if you die in the process. Because, and I don't really know why, in that twisted little mind of yours, other people are more important than you are to yourself. Well, I don't mean it to be like that. So there you have it. Now you understand, Saber. He's enough of an idiot that he'd even try to protect you against Berserker. So yeah, he's serious when he says he's going to fight. I don't know how much of Tosaka's words actually make it through to Saber, but Saber takes a deep breath and turns towards me. She leans in and kisses me. Shiro? What, Saber? I acknowledge that you have the will to fight, and as such, I have an idea. What is it? You must train with the sword. I shall teach you as much swordsmanship as time permits. If you accept that condition, then I shall accept your way of thinking. What? Does that mean she's gonna train me? Is this because she's acknowledged my will to fight? Hold up, Saber. That whole line of thinking is pointless, like an emotional flab. Teach Shiro the way of the sword. There's no way he'll be able to go up against a servant. True, but it is better than doing nothing. At the very least, it should minimize the hesitation he has in battle. I can only bet on Shiro's will and determination, but such is the nature of a real battle. One will never learn if they have no aptitude for it to begin with. Well, I guess if you put it that way, you're right. You're never ready for a fistfight unless you've actually experienced one in the past. Let's start punching Shiro. Yes, that is why I would like to try once, nay, as many times as time allows. I would like Shiro to experience what death in battle feels like, so he might grow accustomed to battle. The two of them are talking pretty casually about some scary stuff. Hold on a minute. I never agreed to any... Okay then, I'll teach him about magecraft. If Saber's going to train his body, I'll enrich his mind. Well, that was part of our initial plan anyway, so I guess I'll begin the formal training tomorrow. Yes, please do so. If you can do that, I can concentrate on training him with the sword. Good, good. Now that's settled, let's break for tonight. Looks like tomorrow's going to be busy. Tosaka waves goodbye and disappears into the outbuilding. I shall rest as well. You should do the same, Shiro. I intend to work you hard in the dojo tomorrow. She gives a short bow and goes back to her room. Now, Shiro is going to have a 5-minute monologue about how Saber said the word hard, and he can't stop thinking about it. All that remains in the living room is 2 cups of untouched tea and 1 dumbfounded boy. They didn't even fucking drink it! He made the tea? I never agreed to this. My words go unheard. Anyway, what was already a confusing situation has grown a hell of a lot more complicated. I can't even begin to imagine what will happen today. I'm gonna sleep. I should at least save my energy. Everything starts with the body. Well, yeah, The only thing I can do is cling on to my fragile hope that as long as my body is strong enough, I'll be able to endure whatever torture they might throw at me. Alright, nice. Then I will stop it for the night. Beautiful. Okay, here we go, I'm back. February 6. Fate 7. Sword and Magic 1. I wouldn't want anyone to get sad if I can help it. If I just use my own limited powers to make the people around me happy, the world will be a better place. That was always Kiritsugu's favorite saying. The man who I saw as a champion of justice was saying he thought he was a failure, that he wasn't good enough. He didn't need to explain it to me. The worlds the young me and the grown-up Kiritsugu lived in were too different, and so the standards for being a hero of justice were different too. When I was young, this house was my entire world. So my old man Fujine, myself, and my favorite shed were the only things that needed protecting. All I thought I had to protect was what I could see around me, but Kiritsugu wanted to do something for those he couldn't see or reach. I was reckless when I was young. I built myself up by cursing the cruel world. The world was cruel, so I became cruel as a way to make my ideals a reality. There will always be those that can't be saved. You just can't save everything. If in the process of trying to save 1,000 you overlook 500, then I will abandon 100 to save 900. That is the most efficient way. That is the ideal, Kiritsugu once told me. Of course I got mad hearing that. It really ticked me off, because I didn't have to be told that since I knew that already, because I knew firsthand that it was that very ideal that led to me being saved. I didn't need to be reminded about something so obvious, but I still believed that a hero of justice could save everyone, despite those limitations. Because that's what a hero of justice was, someone who could still perform miracles no matter how idealistic or unattainable they may be. You're right, Shiro. Results are the most important thing, but apart from that, what's even more important is to have the heart. What did Kiritsugu say about heart again? I don't remember. It's not often I reminisce about something from so long ago. I just realized that I think when it's in the center of the screen, it's Kiritsugu talking. You would get that if you had the voices on. Shut up! I must be in a deep sleep. Otherwise, I wouldn't be dreaming in the first place. Shiro. Oh, well now this is probably Reen or Saber. It's probably Saber. Shiro, wake up. It's almost time for breakfast. Actually, I don't know. Maybe that's Reen. Because it's, I don't know, I feel like Saber might say it is almost time for breakfast. She might not use the contraction. I don't know. See? Saber, oh, there you go, Saber. Saber's waking me up. It's pathetic. She does use the contraction. What? I bolt upright and out of my futon. It's 6:30 in the morning. Fresh sunlight pours in from outside. Shiro, it is morning. Do you need to prepare breakfast? Saber is staring right at me. I overslept. Sorry, I'll get up right away. You have nothing to apologize for, but you have no time to relax. It appears Sakura and Reen were arguing earlier. Sakura and Tosakura are arguing? What's going on? Hold on, don't throw me into a situation I don't understand just as I'm waking up. Is that happening in Tosaka's room? No, the living room. I just passed by, so I do not know the details. Got it. I'll head there now. Oh, but there's something I forgot to do. Saber, I love you. What is it, Shiro? Good morning, Saber. Thanks for waking me. Aw, that's nice. And you see her blush a little bit as he leaves. I greet her, then I head out to the hallway. But seriously, what the hell did Tosaka do to start an argument with Sakura? Tosaka! In the living room, there's no sign of Sakura. Tosaka's alone, casually watching the weather forecast on TV. Morning! What a way to start the morning, shouting my name like that. She turns around as if to ask if something had happened. Huh? That's weird. Doesn't look like she was fighting with Sakura at all. Morning. Hey, Tosaka, I heard you and Sakura were arguing. Is that true? Huh? Oh, from Saber. Yes, it may have seemed that way to an outside observer, but it was nothing, really. I just told her not to come here for a while. She's so casual about basically banning Sakura from my house. That's ridiculous. Sakura always said no to staying away from this house, so there's no way she would agree even if we asked again. She wouldn't agree, but she went home after I presented her with a compromise. I told her I would go back home without argument if she stays away for a week. She agreed to those terms. She went home even if she was a little reluctant. Alright, she sends her regards. You did what? Why would she do something like that without telling me? Actually, I shouldn't yell at her for it. Yeah, maybe you should. Don't kick Sakura out of my fucking house. Tosaka's just done something I should have. You're right. Sorry for making you the bad guy so early in the morning. You must feel terrible, Tosaka. Huh? No, it wasn't bad or unpleasant to me. Why would you think that, Shiro? Because weren't you and Sakura friends? Telling Sakura to leave not once but twice doesn't sound like a fun job. That's why I feel bad. I'm the one who should take charge, but I made you do the dirty work again. That's fine. I just kicked out Sakura for my own safety. There's no reason for you to apologize. Huh? What do you mean for your own safety? Well, you said Shinji's a master, right? Knowing him, if Shinji finds out Sakura comes here, he'll target this place. So it's best to keep Sakura away from here until we finish dealing with Shinji. That's a good point. That's actually a very good point. I get it. She makes a good point. Shinji said he doesn't tell Sakura anything. I don't think he was lying. But if he finds out his little sister comes here so often, he might get the wrong idea. You're right. It could look to Shinji like we're taking Sakura hostage. Exactly. But more importantly, this place is still dangerous. I wouldn't want her to be walking around at night, so it's best for her to stay away from here for a while. This is for Sakura's own safety as well as ours. Yeah, you're right. I feel bad for Sakura, but I'll just have to apologize and ask her forgiveness later. Though I won't be able to explain myself even when the time comes. This is really getting to me. I feel really bad about turning Sakura away like this, even if it's temporary. I feel bad about it too. She's been so unselfish about helping me for all this time. She's too sweet to just say, hey, don't come to my house for a week. Like, this is her home. She has to stay at the fucking Mato house for a week? She has to, like, go home to Shinji and Zenken? Whatever his name is? Zanken? What's his name? Whatever. The old man? Oh, you look really down. What happened to all that energy you had when you shouted at me earlier? Are you all sad and lonely not having Sakura around? Tosaka grins maliciously. Oh crap, I'd known she'd tease me when I show vulnerability, but I went and did it again. Leave me alone. Sakura was the symbol of peace at our house. She offset whatever Fujine and I were lacking, so of course I'm down about us sending her away for our own selfish reasons. Oh, so you do understand. If you can say that much, then you pass. I'd say you're starting to get more determined. Huh? What are you trying to say? Don't you get it? Once this war ends, Sakura will come back. You said you don't want the Holy Grail, but that just means you should fight to take back the peaceful life you had before. See? Now you have a clear goal. Tosaka smiles her very biggest smile. When she puts it like that, I really have no choice but to agree. Damn, I don't know what to say. What she said there confirms that she's been both mean-spirited and ridiculously awesome at the same time. What, so what? Is this Saber? So Sakura won't be coming here for a while. Oh, that's Fujine. Sakura won't be coming here for a while? Yeah, that's what's going on. Why don't you do your parents a favor and go home once in a while for a change? Gramps was complaining about his daughter neglecting him. Leave Dad out of this. He's not going to die or anything, whether I'm there or not. And with Sakura gone, I have to be even more vigilant. You're still a boy, so if anything fishy happens here, I'll be the one who gets in trouble and even loses her job. If that happens, are you going to take responsibility, Shiro? That'll never happen. Sadly, since I'm a man, I can't really confidently deny that. Relax, Shiro. Emiya, why'd you just stop? She glares. Tosaka's eyes bore into me from one side. I don't think anything would happen. Tosaka's not staying here for fun, you know. I sure know that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Sounds like Emiya is trustworthy, Miss Fujimura. Of course, even from my point of view, Shiro is really composed. So much so, he might be overdoing it.
Saber continues to eat in silence as she observes the two interacting. It's been 2 days, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Shiro. It's about the Kyudo Club. Did you hear Mitsuzuri got hurt?
Mitsuzuri? Did she pick a fight with someone in another club again? Honestly, she really needs to calm down. She's gonna be a 3rd year soon. So, how's she doing? Is she hurt bad? No, did she get... Oh, okay, it was a sprained ankle? She was apparently attacked by some shady guy on her way home. Did Shinji attack her? I think didn't Shinji try to use her as like a sacrifice, you know, like suck mana from her or whatever at some point? Maybe in Heaven's Feel? And then I think in Unlimited Blade Works, she was drained by the school attack or something? No, that was also Shinji, I think, right? I think? Was that in the original, when we first saw Ryder? Man, I can't remember quite. I might have to go back and rewatch it at some point.
You know she runs fast, she made a mad dash, but it sounds like she fell and got hurt.
I see. I'm glad nothing bad happened, but honestly, whoever tried to attack her is a real daredevil, or they're just reckless. Either way, they were a fool. I just thought...
You thought she would have knocked the culprit out rather than run?
Fujine grins. Yep, she sure knows Ayako Mitsuzuri well. Yeah, it's rare for Mitsuzuri to run away. But I guess she's not so tough against thieves. I suppose things worked out for the best. Something like that will probably teach her a thing or two about being feminine. What the fuck, Shiro? And Munch on my rise, nodding approvingly. I don't know if that was... Maybe that was... Actually, this is important. I gotta see if that was Fujine saying that or Shiro. Well, actually, considering there's no play button next to it, like, I think that means it's Shiro, right? Because Shiro's voice isn't always voiced, you know? So yeah, I think it is. Well, then why was he nodding at his own fucking... He said something kind of sexist and then nodded at his own terms.
Hey, Emiya.
Suddenly, Rin Tosaka slaps my shoulder, smiling at me.
I have some news for you.
Huh? What? I doubt it'll be more interesting than what I just heard.
Yeah, I never mentioned this before, but Ayako and I are real good friends. Did you know we're close enough that we hang out on the weekends?
Wait, why is she and Mitsuzuri friends? Come again?
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to make sure I tell her every single word you just said. I'm sure if I tell her about how happy Emiya was when he heard about her predicament, why, I bet she'll break 10 stacks of tiles from sheer delight.
I would like to amend my statement. See, it was just a figure of speech. It's not something I'd be proud if people heard, so I'd really appreciate if you kept it to yourself.
Oh, really? Well, I could keep quiet about it, but it would be really hard for me to do that unless there was maybe something in it for me. I might just accidentally slip up, you know.
I can't believe this. Sure, you sound sincere, but I'm not buying it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not playing around here.
Yeah, there's no misunderstanding here. She's enjoying this. Got it. I'll start making Western-style breakfasts from now on. You said it earlier. You mentioned that breakfast should have bread.
Good. And I think some jams, apart from marmalade, would be nice, like strawberry jam.
I don't know what you have against Japanese breakfasts, you foreigner wannabe. I can't believe you would so radically change our breakfast just to suit your needs, you tyrant.
That is not entirely true. I would also...
Is this Saber saying this?
That is not entirely true. I would also be pleased to have bread served at breakfast. Soft-boiled eggs would also be an excellent addition.
Saber jumps right into the discussion. Well, yeah, she is Western, so...
Is that so?
Is that so? Fine. You all just want Western-style food, damn it. Sakura makes a Western-style breakfast one time and it goes right to your heads. Fine then, I'll serve bread for tomorrow, so no more complaints, right? So what we said here stays here. Don't you dare blab about this to Mitsuzuri. I huff and shove rice into my mouth without looking at either of them. And then...
Why would you be doing something so pointless?
Fujine, who had been watching our conversation with a look of wonderment, finally speaks up. What? What do you mean pointless?
Even if Tosaka isn't going to say anything, I'm just going to tell Mizuzuri anyway.
No way would I pass up talking about something so interesting. Fuck off! What a bitch. Fujine shakes her head disapprovingly as she eats. Well, I'd turn to Rin and go, well, sorry, you lost your bargaining chip. Like, and then what Rin would do is Rin would then manipulate Fujine not to say anything so that she can get her Western breakfast. I think that's what would happen. Ah, my fucking knees is hurting right now. Well, it's like, it feels like it needs to crack, you know? It's like, just feels like there just needs to be one crack to loosen it up, but it's not cracking. Oh, it did crack a little bit there, but not quite how I needed it to crack. Actually, I need to think of a way to deal with her, or I'm really in trouble. Breakfast ends and it's 7:30. Fujine surprisingly stays back and suggests that the three of us walk to school. But we can't do that. I made a decision last night. Now that I've said I won't rely on Saber, I can't afford to take it easy anymore.
Then let's go. Did you lock up, Shiro?
No, don't worry about locking up. I'm not going to school today. Telling your teacher, I'm not going to school today, without any good reason. I wave Fujine and Tosaka off. Fujine freezes, stupefied for just a few seconds.
What? What do you mean you're not going to school? Huh?
Tosaka beats Fujine to the chase.
That's right. You don't look sick enough to miss school today, Shiro.
No, but my scar hurts. You know how scars hurt when the weather changes? It's like that.
Huh. You're lying, Shiro.
Yeah, but let me off the hook just for today, Fujine. It's not that I don't like school. There's something I have to do, and it's just more important right now. So let me go.
Oh, come on. How can I respond if you're going to put it like that? You always were cagey when you had something really important to take care of.
Fujine's complaining, but at least she understands. Okay. So there it is. I'll leave the school to you, Tosaka.
Okay. Not much is going to change just because you're not there. That's not a bad idea, Emiya.
Yeah, leave the house to me. I'm not going to work for a while either, so I won't be leaving the house much.
Got it. Then I'm heading out, Shiro. If you're going to skip school because you're hurt, then you shouldn't leave the house much.
Well, see you. I'm giving you a pass.
Well, see you.
Wait. I'm giving you a pass today, but you're going to have to discuss this with me beforehand next time. I should probably clean the floors. I told Saber to meet me here a little later. Oh, because he's going to do the sword training, right? I always just do the bare minimum of cleaning in here. It's been years since I sparred with anyone in this place. It'd probably be rude to both the dojo and Saber if I don't clean up a little. But honestly, I don't know what she's going to do for sword training. I've sparred using a shinai with Kiritsugu many times, but Kiritsugu and I never really cared about proper form. It was more like a couple of amateurs beating each other up. I never really had any plans to practice kendo seriously, and I was really only taught how to fight opponents wielding a sword. I was never keen on using tools in a fight. My interest was always making and fixing them. In that sense, this might be the first time for me to learn proper swordsmanship in any serious sense. Saber's swordsmanship is different than kendo, but I'm sure there are some things in common, and I don't think they're so different I won't be able to keep up. I hear the door open. Saber arrives precisely on time. That works out well since I've just finished cleaning.
Sorry I made you wait.
Sorry I made you wait. I was thinking of having you teach me here.
Yes? Is something the matter, Shiro? You look like you have just seen something unusual.
Oh, it's nothing. I was just surprised that you're still in the same clothes. I thought you were going to wear your other outfit. We're training with swords, so I immediately thought of Saber in her armor, since that's what she always wears when she's fighting. Well, you want her to use Excalibur against you as well?
Huh. If you prefer me armored, I can change. You are right, I was not thinking. Even should we only be practicing, I am disrespecting you by not wearing my armor. My apologies, I will change right away. Oh, that's not what I meant, I just misunderstood. It's fine, actually. I prefer you in this outfit to your armor. Huh? Are you not saying my outfit is unsatisfactory? Well, no, it's cute. Unsatisfactory? I mean, you don't look like you're dressed for a bout right now, but it shouldn't matter as long as you're comfortable. Wearing armor all day will just tire you out. That may be true, but don't you think this is an inappropriate look for wielding a sword? Why would you think that? It's not weird, you look good. I think you look better right now than you do in your armor. I do not quite understand. This outfit is certainly easy to move in, but it is ill-suited for combat. I believe this is quite an inadequate look for a Saber. Don't you dare wear that outfit in a fight, dummy. You're a girl, Saber. Girls look good in outfits like this, so this is fine. Oh my gosh. Whoa, that sprite? Where Saber, like, does this? I've never seen her so feminine and, like, vulnerable. I've, like, never. Absolutely never. And then I return the rag I'd been cleaning with to the bucket, and I bring back 2 shinai that I'd been leaning against the wall. So what are you planning for training, Saber? I'm leaving everything to you to decide, so tell me anything, no matter how absurd it might be. I toss her the bamboo sword. She's still blushing. Saber seems distracted as she catches a shinai and stares at me quietly. Huh? Is there a problem with bamboo swords? Don't tell me you want to use wooden or even real blades. She's really a tough instructor. This is beyond anything I imagined. Oh, no, that is not it. There are certainly excellent mock swords for practice sessions, so let us use them. Saber draws in a deep breath and goes right back to the normal Saber as I know her. See, the way she's talking now. Oh no, that is not it. These are certainly excellent mock swords for practice. Let us use them. She's avoiding using contractions. So that's why before, when there was a contraction used in the sentence, and I didn't have the person up on the screen, I thought it was going to be Reen because of the contraction. I'm not saying she always doesn't use contractions. I think she probably goes back and forth. But a lot of the time she speaks like this, where she doesn't use any contractions in her sentences. So that's why I thought beforehand. And I thought maybe I just imagined it, but now reading that line out loud, I was like, yeah, she's avoiding contractions here. That's a relief. It'd be too noisy to spar with wooden swords. So what are we gonna do? Are you gonna make me strengthen my body by swinging the sword 500 times or run laps? That will not be necessary, from what I've observed. But then again, she uses I've there, you know? But I have is a little clunkier, but she could still say, from what I have observed. So yeah, she just goes back and forth. Your athletic abilities are above average. If we intended to further fortify your body, it would take more than a day or 2. You may be unskilled as a mage, but you are not bad as a warrior. You must have trained hard from a young age. Well, that's all I was really good at. You don't have to be talented in magecraft to work out physically. That must have worked in your favor. One of the reasons you survived Lance's attacks must be that very training. But it will not be enough for you to defend yourself. Humans are bound by limitations. Your body has not yet reached its limit, and breaking through that limit would be difficult. That is why I'll be teaching you only one thing, how to fight. What do you mean, just fight? Based on your tone, it doesn't sound like you'll teach me how to fight. Of course not. The techniques employed in battle cannot be learned overnight. Sorry, I'm just reading what she said again. That is why I'll be teaching you only one thing, how to fight. Based on your tone, it doesn't sound like you sound like you'll be teaching me how to fight. Okay. I can't quite wrap my head around what that means. Of course not. The techniques employed in battle cannot be learned overnight. All I can do is make certain master experiences as many battles as possible. I am not a skilled teacher, so I am baffled that you would seek my guidance. Hello? Having her sound so proud about that makes it a bit awkward for me as her student. So we're just gonna have a bunch of matches? Yes, that is all, Master. Oh, a sprite of her holding the sword. We shall not soften our blows. We will fight as if we mean to kill each other. Well, you will understand after perhaps an hour.
Oh, cool, Sprite. Saber readies herself, gently gripping her shinai.
Huh?
I tilt my head, wondering what she means, but I also grip my shinai as Saber does. In that instant... Ow! My vision goes black, probably knocked out from one hit. Saber's teaching me one very simple lesson. No matter what I do, no matter what strategy I come up with, none of it will change the outcome of a fight against someone I just don't have a chance at beating.
Ow! Ouch! That hurt! It's definitely broken. If it were broken, your arm would look far worse. It may be a bad bruise, but you will recover soon. Okay, then let's keep going. Huh? Do you intend to continue, Shiro? It may be a bruise, but you should not move again so quickly. Says the person who didn't hesitate to charge at my arm. Fine, if you don't feel like it, I'll use this opportunity! I got her! Nope, obviously. Please listen to me. You are obviously fatigued. You must rest or all of our training will be in vain. But it's disgraceful for you to beat me so badly when you're obviously taking it easy on me. If I can't even get you so much as raise a brow, I'll be too frustrated to even collapse.
Oh, once again, her hands together.
If you want me to be surprised, I am plenty surprised. I knew you were stubborn, but I entirely failed to anticipate the extent. Oh, sorry about that. I hate losing. Yes, you have demonstrated that many times, so you needn't say so. We will be taking a break, so please put your bamboo sword down. The floor is slippery with sweat. We are not trying to carry out mock battles in extreme situations, so there is no point in carrying on when we are exhausted and on unstable footing. Why not? I thought combat training was supposed to simulate worst-case scenarios. If not... That is even more pointless. Listen, Shiro, if you say you were going to fight against a servant, doing so would be pointless unless you are in peak condition, have the best footing, and are a prepared path of retreat. Unless conditions are perfect, you will not be able to fight against the servant. Your desire to fight while you are in the worst possible state is foolish in itself.
I kind of get her point. She's saying, like, look, it's no point in training for the worst case scenario, because in that worst case scenario, you lose no matter what. We might as well take something that has a 1% chance of victory and move that up to 15%, rather than take something that has a 0% chance. You can multiply that as many times as you want, it's still going to be 0. So what you're saying is I shouldn't even bother trying to fight in situations like this?
Exactly. In a situation like this, there is no miracle which would save you, Shiro. Your best way to fight should be to fully prepare yourself, then pursue the best course of action in a given situation.
Got it. Then I'd like to take a break. I slump against the wall and slowly slide down to the floor. I exhale. Air should be what I feel coming from my lungs, but instead there's only heat. Ouch! While my body's throbbing with pain, I glance towards the clock on the wall. It's a little past 11 o'clock. We started around 9, so we've been sparring for about 2 hours. During the first hour, I was just getting beat up. Saber struck suddenly, then I blacked out. I woke up thinking I would be more careful, and then just got knocked right back out. After getting beaten up repeatedly, my body seemed to get used to it, or maybe my anger just triggered some latent power, but eventually I did manage to block the first blow. The problem came after that. Here's a thought. Would humans dare to, or even be able to fight back against an opponent who is so much stronger and more skilled? You Oni. The answer was no, because I blacked out the instant I flinched. After that, it was just a repeated show of a cat cornering a rat. If, no matter how I tried to block the attack, I was just gonna fall mortally wounded, then I had no choice but to attack in desperation. Of course, she deflected my attacks easily and knocked me out, but as I got used to it, I started getting enough time and awareness to intuit that the next attack would kill me, so I had just enough time to think for myself, oh crap. I guess in a general sense, I was getting into the swing of things. So after that, I went on the defensive. My intuition kept screaming that the next attack would knock me out, so I tried to avoid it like any living thing would. I managed to parry Saber's Shinai attacks as they ranged down upon me, and while I waited for an opportunity to counterattack, she struck a fatal blow. I managed to stand up and think that next time I'd last longer, then think maybe I should just go on the offensive before she can strike since I couldn't hold out anyway, and that went on for 2 hours. I'm not sure this is going to make me stronger, but I do think it's helping me get used to fighting. Practice so I'm neither confused nor too calm in the face of the enemy. All I'm doing is teaching myself that I'm a single mistake away from death, but if you asked me if I thought this was meaningless, I'd say no. With no effective weapon to use, the feeling of constantly being on edge is the most important thing I have. Oh my gosh, she's close. A job well done. Are you hurt anywhere, Shiro? The next thing I know, Saber's right next to me. Lean closer. I'm so exhausted I'm dripping sweat all over the floor. Saber isn't even breathing hard. It'd be hard to find anywhere that doesn't hurt at this point. You really didn't hold back, Saber. It actually felt extraordinary having you just come at me without even having a chance at defending myself. I have to admit, I'm saying that entirely because I'm a sore loser. Yes, I did try to bring myself down to your level, but I also tried to show you no mercy. No real battle will ever involve making things easy for you. Yeah, thanks to this training, I think I can calmly deal with a Doberman running at me with its leash off. Then again, I wouldn't be good enough yet if it's just a Doberman, so I'll still need more training. I'm in a moment of honest reflection. I've always thought I trained myself more than the average person, but now I'm ashamed for throwing in the towel after just 2 hours of sparring with Saber. Well, this is King Arthur. I think it's understandable. That is not true. Your attacks were all quite powerful. I was so enthused by your efforts that I forgot to strike back at times. Oh, I'm suddenly embarrassed again. For a while, we'd just been two people sparring with our Shinai with no thought given to being a man and woman, but now she's caught me off guard. Hold on, I'm gonna go drink some water. Water? I will fetch you some. Please stay here and rest. Saber goes to get some water. Whew, that was a close one. Huh. Close? What was so close? What, that you have a visible erection right now that hopefully can calm down before she gets back? I drink the water Saber brings me. It must still be break time, as Saber's sitting formally in a kneeling position. I knew that they were doing that so that they could use this art again, because I immediately imagined this art, and I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense that they want to go back to using it. Saber is so beautiful when she does that kind of thing. I'm not saying that as a man finding a woman attractive, but because I find her beautiful as a human being. That's kind of nice. It's still strange to think that she is Saber, a servant, and someone dedicated to fighting. Right now, there's only me and Saber. This might be a good opportunity for me to strike up a conversation, so I'll ask. Oh my gosh. All three of these are kind of interesting. So I know this one. I also know this one, and I know all three of them. But what do I think would be the most interesting area to go to? I think this one. I need a trump card. It'd be nice to have some sort of secret blade technique or something. Well, I don't want to complain about this training, but I also think if there's some sort of secret move I could learn that might let me get through this training, I might be more enthusiastic about sparring against Saber. Saber, hear me out. Yes? What is it, Shiro? You certainly look expectant. You think so? Well, I guess I want to ask you for a favor, and I have some high hopes for it, but let me get to the point. There's something I want you to teach me. Huh? I am not entirely sure what exactly you wish to learn, but I will share what I can with you. Saber thinks it's a serious conversation, so she sits in front of me in a formal Caesar position. Caesar. So what is it you want to know? Is it about servants? Saber regards me seriously. I feel like I already know what's going to happen in the next few seconds here, but I should go for broken ask anyway. I'm actually really serious about this, so I want you to hear me out and please not get mad. Yes? That is why I mean to listen intently. Please do not hold back. Ask whatever is on your mind. Okay, I'm going to take you at your word. So, is there some sort of secret technique I could learn that would let me take down a servant? It'd be great if it was strong enough to take even you down. Saber stops breathing. Saber's brow doesn't move so much as a millimeter. I knew it couldn't be that easy, right? Sorry, I apologize. It was my bad. I was only joking, so I would really appreciate if you just understood I was kidding and pretended you didn't hear any of that. Oh my gosh, look at this expression. Just then, Saber grins wickedly. Saber, I might be imagining things, but you seem to have an evil smile on your face that doesn't quite fit you. Oh, it is not your imagination. I am feeling every bit as wicked as Reen right now. What? Ah! Every hair on my body stands on end. Oh my god. Why are you so distressed, Shiro? I have not yet answered your question. If I recall correctly, you desire a secret attack powerful enough to defeat a servant in a single blow, yes? I retreat instinctively, but Saber closes the distance between us, not allowing me to escape. Well, you see... Saber, are you mad? Oh my gosh. Oh, very. I'm a dead man. If Saber and I would actually fight right now, I'd die. Hold it! Let's calm down, Saber. I regret what I said. I have a pretty good idea why you're mad too. Is it because he's being dismissive of the strength that people who train their entire lives have? Do you now? Then please seat yourself there, Caesar style. My rage will not abate until I have properly explained everything to you. Saber gets to her feet. I quickly sit up straight just as Saber had been and brace myself for the worst. Saber takes a deep breath and... Oh my gosh. How can you be so ridiculous? What were you thinking asking me to teach you such a technique? My gosh. Never thought I'd see Saber with cartoon rage in this game. Generally, she's like either she's serious rage or not rage at all. The sheer volume is wreaking havoc on my poor ears. I had no idea her yelling alone could paralyze me. No human could ever shout so loud. It's like the roar of a beast, a lion. Sorry. I said I regret my actions. Saber, you're stronger than me. I just thought maybe you knew some kind of sword skill even amateurs could learn. No such easy path exists. An ambush is best used against an opponent with whom you are evenly matched, and amateurs like you must carefully build a foundation before even considering such a thing. Besides, I have already told you not to think about defeating your opponent. Defending yourself is your first priority. If there is to be a special secret move for you, Shiro, it would be gaining the ability to lead a battle without actually fighting. I know, I got it, so can you tone it down a bit? I show her how bad I feel about this and clap my hands together like I'm praying for her forgiveness. Honestly, I thought you had some potential, but then, a moment later, this is what you ask me. If you continue like this, it will simply be too dangerous to leave you alone. Did I just screw up my romantic route with her? Saber continues scolding me. I actually don't know how important the branching paths are, you know? I stepped on the lion's tail and incurred her wrath. I'll just keep my mouth shut and endure Saber's scolding. Anyway, now that we've talked a bit, my body's cooled down, so we should get back to training. Saber, let's go again. I've had a chance to rest. This is a long training scene, you know? Jeez. Are you sure? You do seem to have cooled down, but you also appear to be in pain. It's fine, just bruises, so I can deal with it. Besides, I'm healing automatically now anyway. But if it gets worse, this training will be pointless. I believe we should wait longer and see. It's fine. I want to do more before Tosaka comes home. I wouldn't want her seeing me in this state. I understand. It would not do to have Reen, who will eventually become my enemy, learn about your abilities. Reckless though it may be, I suppose we should pick up the pace a bit. Saber picks her shinai up from the floor, but then a really out-of-place sound echoes throughout the dojo. What? Saber being hungry? Her stomach rumbling? Saber? I think her stomach is growling, yeah, okay. It seems I am hungry. I had not noticed, engrossed in our training as I was. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, it is lunchtime.
I can't blame her for her stomach growling. I'm not that hungry yet, but if Saber is, we should have lunch. And if during that time I heal more, that's even better. Hey, it's lunchtime anyway. I'll go buy some groceries so you can rest in the living room. Shiro, if you are going out, I will accompany you. I'll be fine. I'm just going to the shopping district nearby. No one would attack me in broad daylight, and you might just attract more attention if you did come with me. I don't know. Are you sure it will not be dangerous? I'm sure. Just wait here. I'll be right back. I would take her with me everywhere I went, even if I wasn't in a war. I'd hold her by the hand. And grab my wallet and head out. I also want to see, because I know there's a flowchart in here. So, I mean, there's these 3 things. Do all 3 of them just lead to this? Well, look, I just spoiled myself on what I'm going to... I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know I would spoil myself. Oh, no. What's the heart mean? Does the heart mean this is a romantic event and I fucked it up? Miss Saber is outraged. I think I may have fucked up a romantic event. Also, there's this. I see the 2. Oh, yeah. That could have branched off. Wait, but I wonder how much that branches off. Does that branch off and is a completely different... Because this is the one that Saber goes out on her own to fight. Oh my gosh. Could it branch off and we go with her to fight originally? Interesting. And then there's this one where I talked to Ryder, which I remember that one. Okay. Yeah, it's just interesting to me. I wonder how much it diverges. I imagine most of them still go back to like the main timeline. But I do feel like if there is like a romance bar, I've fucked it up a little bit with Saber. I might be able to bring it back, but... It doesn't take more than 10 minutes to get to the shopping district by bike. The bicycle I take from the garage today is Unit 2. Unit 1 is still parked in front of Ryudo Temple. I bike down the hill. I haven't gone to the shopping district midday on a weekday since I was a kid. The intersection is packed with housewives returning from midday shopping. They're coming from the neighborhood shopping center Sakura and I frequent. Just getting through the exposition faster. I buy groceries, enough to make food for a light snack. I don't buy anything for dinner since Tosaka's in charge of that tonight, but I get bread. I don't know how to make strawberry jam. Go for an expensive jar. Damn, this is really eating into my wallet. Why the hell do I have to spend 1,000 yen on something so sugary? I load the groceries onto my bike, but then I feel someone tugging at me from behind. Huh? I turn around wondering who it is. Standing there is a silver-haired little girl. You're... Did he just break stuff? I stumble backwards, knocking over my bike. Oh, I just knocked over the bike. While I brace myself, the girl just looks up at me with a smile. What? I can't sense so much as a hint of animosity or murderous intent from her. To top it all off, the little girl says, I'm glad to see you alive, big brother. She looks so happy. The hell? She's definitely Berserker's master. She's the master of the monster who almost tore me in half with a single blow. Not the sort of person I'd expect to just run into at the shopping district in the middle of the day. You're not planning to fight here, are you?
Why would you say something silly? We're not supposed to fight while it's still light out.
The little girl pouts. She's certainly acting like the little girl she seems to be. I have no idea what she must be thinking. I can at least sense she doesn't pose any threat, though. You're...
Iliasville von Einsburn. You can call me Ilia for short. What's your name?
Me? I'm Shiro Emiya.
Shiro Emiya? That's a tongue twister.
Nobody's ever said it like that. If it's hard to remember, just call me Shiro. That's my first name.
Shiro? That's easier. Shiro, huh? Yep, it has a nice ring to it. It's simple, but also kind of haughty at the same time.
Using the word haughty. Iliasville looks at me suggestively. I find myself shifting my weight so I can be ready to run at an instant, purely by instinct. She is Berserker's master. If she gets it in her head, she can probably just order him to crush me along with the florist next to me.
You don't have to be so tense, Shiro. I left Berserker at home today. You didn't bring Saber with you either, so we're even.
Eliasville looks up at me cheerfully. Well, I'm not sure even is the right word.
Hey, let's talk. There's so much I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah. The little girl tugs on my arm as if she were taking her father's hand. Wait. What's the big idea? Is this some weird new strategy you thought up?
What do you mean? I just want to talk. Kids make friends and talk with them all the time, right?
That may be true, but that doesn't really apply to us. We're both masters, and we've already fought each other before. We're actually enemies.
That's not true. I don't have any enemies. The other masters are more like pests to me. But if you're good, I might let you go.
She smiles wide as she says this. Just stay back, okay? What's wrong with you? I jerk my arm to throw Eliasville's hand off. She's about to fall. She nearly falls flat on her back. You're gonna save her because of how hard I shook her off. Oh crap, Ilia! I don't know why I did that. The next thing I know, I'm reaching for Eliasville. Her name is too long. Ilia's waist, and try to catch her before she falls to the ground. I lower Ilia to the ground without saying a thing. You lowered her to the ground? So you caught her, but then you just put her on the ground? Lift her up again, dude. Ilia's silent. I don't know what to say myself, so I just stand there, looking down at Ilia. Well, this is awkward. So awkward, in fact, that I'm about to just turn around and leave, but then...
Why? Do you hate me or something?
She asked with the same glow in her red eyes that she had when she spoke to me the other night, when she was with Berserker. A chill runs down my spine. I sensed no danger earlier, but she's just reminded me that she's still Berserker's master. If I cross her, I'm dead. I'd never be able to face Saber if I died in vain here, and everyone in the shopping district would get dragged into this as well. Yeah, that's a safe bet. Ilia's willing to use her powers anywhere. Fine. You just want to talk, right? I'll do whatever you want then. So that'll be alright, Ilia?
Yep. Then let's go to the park. I passed by it earlier and there was nobody there.
Ilia skips off towards the park.
Come on, hurry! If you don't, I'll leave you behind, Shiro.
He'd rather she leave him behind. That's cute. That's a good way to show her like bounding through the thing. That's really nice. Ilia spins around as she runs through the shopping district. She really did go ahead without me. I'm more moved than I am curious. Apparently, once he promised Ilia something, she treats it as the absolute truth. And that's why she just skipped off so happily. It's also why, even though she left me behind, I don't even consider taking the opportunity to run for it. I'd already promised her I was going to talk with her, and she clearly trusts that. Yeah, that's true. What's with her? She's unstable, but then again, I haven't gotten to an age where I'm so cynical as to betray a little girl's trust. Ow. Ilia and I are the only two in the park a little ways from the shopping district. Kids are in school at this hour, or maybe the park's not as popular anymore, or both. Our conversation begins in a tense, wintry air of the park. So let's talk. What did you want to talk about? Do you want to know about Saber?
Eh? About Saber? Why?
We're masters. Don't you want to get information about the other servants?
I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. I'll get bored if we don't talk about something funner.
Well, you gotta teach her right now that funner isn't a word. I don't really find anything in particular boring, but okay. What do you think is fun?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to people much, so I don't know what to talk about.
So you brought me out here not knowing what to talk about? Didn't anyone teach you to think before you act? They didn't, did they? Then from now on, you're gonna be a proper, thoughtful adult. It's pretty harsh. Well, but then again, she's a bit of a murderer.
No thanks. I'll leave all that to you, Shiro. Isn't it a man's responsibility to escort a lady? So I'll just have to follow you.
She smiles and leans against my shoulder. She doesn't seem like she's being touchy-feely. If anything, it's like a small animal huddling against something to stay warm. Huh. Now that I'm paying more attention, she does look cold. Ilia, are you cold?
Yeah, I am. I don't like the cold.
She breathes out a puff of white mist. Though she says she doesn't like the cold, she seems enchanted by her misting breath. I see. In It's a lot colder than usual today. You just have to endure the cold for now, but where did you come from? Your name sounds kind of noble or something. She came from the cold. She came from, like, fucking snow, dude. Like, back in Fate Zero, she's surrounded by snow.
I'm not kind of a noble. I am a noble. I was born in an old castle owned by the Ironsburn family. It was always cold and snowing, so I'm used to it being cold like this.
That's what I was saying. Huh? You were born in a cold country? Shouldn't you be used to the cold then?
Yes, but I just don't like it. I like it warm much better. Don't you like it warm too, Shiro?
No. Yeah, obviously. I'd rather it be warm than cold. No, I don't relate to this character.
I know. That's why I like to stay inside and keep warm when it's cold out. But I like snow. It's white, and Father said it was like my hair.
I clap my hands together in wonderment. Now that she's mentioned it, I realize something. I didn't know what Ilya reminded me of, but if ever there was such a thing as a snow fairy, it'd probably look like her. Your dad's pretty clever. Your hair is like snow, soft and white. Yeah, you think her dad is really, really very clever. You just don't know how clever you realize he is yet.
Right? I'm proud of my hair. I got it from Mother, and it's the only girly thing about me.
What are you talking about? I feel like you're girly all around. Ilya giggles joyfully. Seeing her acting like this way leaves me numb. If I hadn't already seen it for myself, I'd never believe this girl could be Berserker's master.
What about you, Shiro? Did you get anything from your dad? Don't say a magic crest, okay? I want to know what you got from your dad as his son, not as a master.
Oh, is she prying for information about Kiritsugu? Or not information about him, but just like trying to relate to him about Kiritsugu. Me? I guess the last thing I got from him was the house. Before that was my last name. And the first thing I got was a chance at living again when I was about to die. I was the only one Kiritsugu managed to save in that fire 10 years ago. Let's see. I didn't get any physical features like you did from your parents, but I think I got plenty of things that were just as good. Ilya looks delighted, as if it was a story about her. Who wouldn't be happy seeing her smile like that?
But from what you just said, you didn't get his magic crest. That's weird. Does that mean you're not a master?
Well, I'm an apprentice mage without a magic crest, but I'm a master. Now that you mention it, you're a master, which makes you a mage, right?
Huh? I'm not a mage, I'm a master. I was never taught magecraft.
Huh? Then you didn't inherit your parents' magic crests? But I thought your family was a prominent one, since you have a castle and all.
That's true, but don't you need a magic crest to be a master? So that's why I'm a master.
Ilya tilts her head in confusion. Huh?
Huh?
Now I'm confused too. Ilya's words seem off. Feels like we're each having a different conversation here. Hey Ilya, let me ask you something. Where do you live? It sounds like you came here just for the Holy Grail War. Does that mean you're living in a hotel right now? Well, for starters, it'd be bad if she didn't have a guardian. Letting a child like her come to Japan on her own is just terrible parenting.
Hotel? Like a vacation villa?
Yeah, I guess so. Not a house, but just somewhere you stay.
Then yes. Do you see that big forest over there? There's a Western-style mansion my grandfather's grandfather built over there. I was told that the Ironsburn family's masters stay there for the Holy Grail War.
Ilya points west. Yeah, there's a deep forest in the mountains there. The place hasn't been developed yet.
It takes about an hour to get to that forest by car.
Oh, it takes about an hour to get to that forest by car. Did you come all the way from there alone?
Yep, I snuck out today. Seller and Lazerit may be my maids, but they're so annoying. I came all the way to Japan, so I think I could go out and do some things. I may have always gotten what I wanted, but I've been shut in my room all this time, so this should be my reward.
You were locked up in your own room?
Yeah, I wasn't allowed outside when it snowed because it would be bad for my body. That's why I usually played in my room. But I'm fine. It's not as cold here as the castle, so I'm fine by myself.
Ilya beams proudly. She swings her legs back and forth, seeming to be genuinely enjoying herself. I find myself reaching into my grocery bag. I take out the dorayaki, a Japanese pancake sandwich filled with red bean paste I bought to give Saber, and without knowing why, I hand it to Ilya. Want it? It's not the fanciest thing, but it's good.
What's this? Food?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of sweets, but this is the only exception. This was a favorite tea snack my old man and I shared. That might be more interesting to her, to say like, hey, Karitsugu liked this, you know?
So you're giving this to me?
Yeah, it's not as good if you eat it alone, so let's eat it together. I hand her the dorayaki. Ilya hesitates, but takes the unfamiliar snack.
Okay, thanks.
She happily takes a bite of the dorayaki. She practically devours the thing. I nibble my dorayaki and try to stop myself from being overwhelmed by the shocking thought I've just had. I don't believe myself. For reasons I simply can't understand, I just found myself thinking it'd be nice to have a little sister like her. You do! And it's her! But honestly, I think Ilya is too innocent. She might really be an innocent young girl who hasn't learned the difference between good and evil. Honestly, I can't even begin to imagine how a mage family raises a child. But I know without a doubt that Ilya wasn't raised in a normal environment. Tosaka may act the way she does, but she is a mage at heart. She understands the gravity of the Holy Grail War and knows that the killings between masters are murder. But this girl may have become a master without really appreciating what it means to kill people. I haven't been talking to her long, but I don't think Ilya is the sort who'd choose to kill anyone. If that's the case. Ilya, there's something serious I want to talk to you about. But then, Ilya suddenly raises her head as if someone just called for her. Ilya? What's wrong? Did something happen?
Yeah, I need to go home. Berserker woke up.
She jumps off the bench. Ilya runs out of the park without so much as a goodbye. She disappears in an instant. Okay. I wonder if something like bad is happening back at her house, you know, like a master's attacking. Like, I was about to say Gilgamesh, but he's not in the war yet. Theoretically. He may never join the war. So, I don't know. Anyone else? Lancer. I go back to the house. I doubt Lancer would just attack, though. Who would attack? Caster, maybe? Send someone after? But I doubt it. Caster normally... In my mind, you have Caster staying back doing her own thing. Assassin is defending Caster. Lancer is kind of watching the war, not making any major moves yet because, what's his name? Kirei wouldn't want him to. Archer follows Reen's instruction for the most part. Saber's with us. Who do you have left? Anyone? And Berserker. I mean, like, I think I don't see any of them like just doing a surprise attack in this war. Now, if we're talking about Fate Zero, I'd say Ryder could do it. I'd say Caster could do it. I'd say Elmaloy. What's his name? Keeneth? What the fuck was his name? Kenneth? I'd say he would have done it, you know? Stuff like that. This is the sort of thing I should be sharing right now, and I know it, but I don't feel like talking about it. Ilya wasn't acting like a master in this park. We talked about trivial things and casually parted ways, so I hesitate to bring it up. I feel bad for keeping secrets, but I don't want to think of her as my enemy. After lunch with Saber, we resume our training, and then it's time for dinner. I rest, fatigued, and I take a bath to rinse the sweat off. By the time I head to the living room, dinner's ready. I'm a little moved. It's really nice to come out of the bath and find dinner ready without doing anything.
Emiya, it's dinner time. Why are you standing there like an idiot?
And yet, why does she have to ruin the moment? Nothing. It's dinner, right? I'm ready to eat. Where's Saber?
I thought Saber went to your room, Shiro. You didn't see her? That's weird. She was here a second ago. Maybe you two missed each other because this place is as big as a hotel. Fine, I'll go get Saber, so you should go to the bathroom one more time. You didn't dry your hair properly.
Did you call this place as big as a hotel? Doesn't Reen live in like a mansion as well? She's got a huge fucking house, like a 2-story. This is just a 1-story house, right? She lives in this like massive 2-story mansion. 3-story, I think, because doesn't she have a basement? Oh, you're right. Okay, then I'll leave Saber to you. I waved to Tosaka and stepped back into the hallway. As Tosaka said, the Emiya house was built with all kinds of passages and corridors. For sure, this is a big house. I don't want to say this isn't a big house. It's pretty big. There's a lot of land on it. But just like, it's weird coming from Rin to say that, you know? I think it would also be weird if Sakura said it, because she also lives in a mansion. There's a lot of characters in this that live in mansions. Ironsburn's lived in a mansion as well. One of the most notable examples of this is the various routes to the bathroom. You can get there from my room or the living room. I head into the bathroom. I don't like to use the dryer, so I'll just use the towel I used earlier to dry my hair. Oh my gosh! Saber in a towel, Sprite. And in that moment, I forget everything that happened today. Shiro, I suppose you must be here to take another bath, but I am doing so at the moment. I would appreciate if you could wait until later. I need to explain myself. I need to explain this is all an accident. It seems like she doesn't care, but my mind has gone completely blank. The sight in front of me is enough to erase everything that happened today from my mind. Shiro, were you in the bath so long that your blood rushed to your head? Even your ears are bright red. If you need to cool off, I suggest you head out onto the veranda. No, yeah, I'll do that, but before I do, I should apologize. I avert my gaze from Saber and try to calm my pounding heart. This was an accident. Well, actually, there's not really much room for me to explain myself now that we've actually run into each other like this, so go on, get mad at me, Saber. Huh? I try to keep my eyes averted and calm myself down at the same time. Saber thinks for a while, then says, Shiro, please raise your head. I do as I'm told. Hey, wait, why are you still like that? You have nothing to apologize for. I wish to tell you that there is nothing for you to worry about, even having seen what you have. Come again? I have told you this before. Gender is meaningless to servants. Seeing my body may have made you panic, but as I have said, I am a servant before I am a woman. As such, your consideration is unnecessary. Now, get in the shower with me and wash me. What? What is Saber saying? Even if Saber insists, the fact of the matter remains that she's a girl. But then again, I didn't think it'd be the case, but could Saber be flirting? Is that what he's thinking? Let me ask you something. Are you saying you're not the least embarrassed about changing in front of me, Saber? Why should I be embarrassed about such a thing? I figured as much. It doesn't matter that Saber doesn't care, though. I really do. Sorry, just let me apologize. If something like this happens again, you can do whatever you want with me. Jesus. Anything you want with me. Oh, I've been a bad boy. I walked in on you. Oh, you're gonna have to punish me. I do a quick 180 and rush awkwardly out of the dressing room. Huh? Saber stares after me oddly as I leave. We finished dinner. It was probably a typical dinner, except it didn't feel that way. I've lost my appetite since the incident in the bathroom. So cold. I had opened a window from the veranda to let the outside wind cool my head, but I need to stop. I'm gonna catch a cold if I keep this up. Shiro, there you are. We talked about getting undressed in front of each other, and I thought we should try that out. Come into the room. Saber, did you have something? No, but I thought you did. I thought Reen promised to teach you magecraft tonight. Oh, I smacked my forehead. I completely forgot. Thanks, I'll head over there right away. I rush to the outbuilding and head upstairs. I knock on the door to the guest room that Tosaka has taken up occupancy in. Shiro, I have my hands full, so just come on in, it's fine. Please also be in a towel. Tosaka's voice sounds from inside the room, but she sounds a little unnerved. Oh my god, she's doing heroin. I walk in to see Tosaka holding a jewel in one hand, a syringe in the other, and a handkerchief in her mouth. Crazy that this is a sprite. I have questions, Tosaka. Hold on. She has car. She sticks a needle in her arm as she speaks, her mouth full. She draws blood into the syringe. Tosaka slowly drips blood from the syringe onto the jewel, then grips it tightly. A wave of vertigo washes over me. I can tell it's a ripple of magical energy.
Even after that, it's only at 30%. I guess I'll have to make do with just the 9 I have.
Tosaka slumps her shoulders in disappointment and puts the stone back into a jewelry box. Tosaka, I came to learn from you as promised. But before we get on to that, I'm curious about what I just saw.
Yes, I was waiting for you. You fortified your body with Saber during the day, right? Then we need to train your mind at night.
Tosaka seems happy, ready to teach. Saber said she wasn't good at teaching, but I'm guessing this will be the total opposite. Anyway.
So, what should we start with? You mentioned that you can only use your strengthening magecraft.
Actually, before we start, I need to know or else it's gonna bother me. What the hell were you just doing? Sticking yourself with a needle was dangerous.
It's a needle I found on the beach. I'm sure it's fine. Huh? I was just making magic bullets. My family's style of magecraft uses a flowing conversion of power. Whenever I have the time, I transfer my magical energy to other objects.
Wait, what are magic bullets and what's the point of transferring magical energy?
Magic bullets are exactly what they sound like, bullets filled with magical energy. Have you ever heard stories where jewels contain human emotions and thoughts? Jewels in general can easily store magical energy, and it seems like my family has always been really well suited to the practice. If you don't do anything for, say, a day, you wind up with an excess of magical energy, so I put that extra energy into jewels. I repeat this for days, months, and even years, and that turns the jewels themselves into magecraft.
It's kind of interesting hearing extra info on how her magic works, because we see in the anime her always taking out the jewels and throwing them at shit, but here we're seeing, like, you know, when she makes the jewels and what she does.
The jewels obviously have limited capacity, and I can't control magic energy outside myself. The magical energy inside the jewels works like an ignition source to instantly activate a large-scale magecraft.
So you're saying you fill these jewels with your own magical energy as a backup?
Backup? Like combat support? That's close, but not quite right. It's more like stuffing something into a disposable pack.
So it's like you're temporarily expanding a computer hard disk. That's amazing. You'd be able to use as much magecraft as you want with that kind of skill.
Hard disk? No idea what that is, but it's also not as great as you think. The moment I infuse a jewel with magical energy, the magical energy is bound by the jewel's attributes, which limits how I can use it.
Yeah, but magical energy never ceases to surprise me. I didn't know you could store it like that. Why don't other mages do something so useful?
The ability to store magical energy is something outside yourself is unique. Even your strengthening magecraft involves infusing your magical energy into another object too, right? Things that pass magical energy typically change, using up that magical energy. The effects of magecraft are instantaneous and never permanent. What my family does... Oops, I didn't mean to turn it to auto mode. Okay. What my family does is make it so that the magical energy flows into jewels where they become permanent objects, but other mages can do something similar to their own bodies. That's what magic crests are, a kind of backup magecraft mages possess.
Magic crests? Oh yeah, secrets that parents pass down to their children. I don't have anything like that, so I'm kind of clueless about them.
Wait, what did you just say?
Well, I just said I don't have a magic crest. My old man had one, but I didn't inherit it. Tosaka catches her breath, but then the next minute she seems to understand.
No wonder you're such an amateur. So you really started from zero? Then I guess there's no helping it.
Tosaka, haven't you known I don't have a magic crest for a long time now?
Of course not! If I knew, I would have never let you go out and do stuff on your own. Sure, I knew you weren't fully trained, but if you don't have a magic crest, you aren't even a mage.
She huffs and looks at me, seeming to be complaining. But what is this? Her voice sounds almost warm, like she's a bit relieved, like she's jealous I'm not a mage. She could also be like... She could also respect you more now, because it's like, if she finds out, oh, you, like she said, as she said, you started from zero. Like, it makes it clear that you're not lazy. You actually worked really hard to get where you are. It's not like you just inherited your father's magic and then you're like, fuck it, I'll just barely train. You actually started from nothing and trained a fuck ton to get to a baseline that's worse than most mages.
Well, whatever.
But also, the thing about being jealous that he wasn't a mage also could be true, because, you know, she inherited not only magic crests and stuff, but also a lot of responsibility, being like Tosaka's main mage or whatever.
Well, whatever. That just means I have to teach you everything from scratch. But since you know what magic crests are, you know what a mage is. Okay, sit over there, Shiro. I need you to really pay attention because this is important stuff. Right here, okay? Go ahead.
Right here? Okay, go ahead. I look at Tosaka. She nods approvingly, satisfied by my seriousness. Okay, here comes exposition. I'll start with something simple. You already know that you need magical energy to use Magecraft. You can actually refer to anything that can activate Magecraft as magical energy. There are endless varieties of magical energy. Some may use Magecraft via their own means, or some may do it by paying a price of some sort. You at least know that, right? Yeah, you're talking about mana and odd. Mana is magical energy that can be found through the world, while odd is magical energy an individual can create themselves.
Yep, good job. Let me start by explaining the types of Magecraft that use mana. Listen, mages who don't have so much history like you employ something that has already taken form to use magical energy. It's a method based on a long-established system of rituals using offerings to make contact with mystics. It's called formal craft. Formal craft? A negotiation technique where a mage prepares compensation of sorts to make a deal because their own power is insufficient. This way, even a caster with weaker magical energy can use Magecraft. They don't need to use their own magical energy because they're borrowing it from somewhere, from mana, so the caster only has to perform a ritual. But you need knowledge to pull something like this off. You're not at the right level to do something like this. Besides, something reeking of blood probably wouldn't be your style anyway. True. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do stuff like sacrifice chickens or pray for a whole night inside a magic circle. That's what Waver did, right? Sacrificed a bunch of chickens, or hens or whatever, roosters. Right, then let's move on and talk about odd. Magecraft that uses a mage's own power. This probably doesn't bear mentioning, but it's a basic method for using Magecraft you and I practice. You're strengthening Magecraft only uses your own magical circuits without using anybody else's power, right? I nod. It seems she's getting into the nitty-gritty stuff now. It's good that I'm reading through this quickly, because there's going to be a lot. Right, the magic circuits that function to create your own magical energy are a hereditary trait passed down through generations. Magic circuits are formed over many generations, get more powerful as they're passed down to the next generation, and so on. The child of a mage family is already fit to use magical energy because of this. It may not be fair, but you and I had different starting points. I know that, it doesn't bother me, keep going. I wasn't too worried about that either, but whatever. Anyway, other than magic circuits, mage families also have secret magecrafts that they cultivate over generations. It's similar to my jewels you saw earlier. Once a certain magecraft is mastered, a mage can physically hold that magecraft. Do you know the feeling of getting a hold of magecraft, even though it's typically shapeless and simply devised? I don't, but I'm guessing it's like it becomes a part of your body. Bingo! Magecraft that goes beyond the realm of principle and becomes part of you, then becomes tangible. It's a feat that can authenticate an otherwise unstable magecraft, and at the same time it becomes a testimony of that mage's existence. And when a mage is on the brink of death, they pass down their great accomplishments to their successor in the form of a crest. It's their way of telling their successor to go further, to places they were unable to reach, and that their crest may be of some use to them. Though to be honest, both the one handing down the crest and the one receiving it is of no help. Huh? What are you saying that something so awesome is useless? It is useful! An ordinary mage would consider a single crest to be like a security blanket. It's that helpful. And then again, it's like getting a car. No matter how fast it is on the road, it's never going to take you to the moon. Huh? Just forget that part. Let's move on. That's a pretty good analogy. You might know this already, but this crest is what's called a magic crest. The head of the mage's family spends their entire life completing the magecraft and makes it into a crest to pass down to their descendants. The descendants complete another magecraft that adds it to the crest and gets passed down to the next descendant. The magic crest gets more complex as it passed down from generation to generation, but it's also a constraint mages can't escape. So what you're saying is that the entire history of a mage family is recorded in these magic crests. No, that's not it. Oh, okay. Family records are recorded in books. Magic crests only contain magecraft, yeah. So it's not the history, it's just the spells. But metaphorically, it's a history. It can cast spells on its own, or it can let you use magecraft you haven't mastered yet. In simpler terms, it's like having magic circles engraved on your body. Then doesn't that mean you can engrave the crest onto anyone? If magic circles are all you need, then you can draw as many as you want as long as you know the shape. That's not how it works. Magic crests are like living things. It's more like transplanting an organ. There's only one organ, and you can't split it amongst people or copy it. There's no point in splitting a heart in half, because it just stopped working, right? She's good at analogies. Oh yeah, you have a point. Does that mean you also have a crest implanted in you too? Implanted is a pretty backwards way to put it, if I do say so myself. In my case, it's on my left arm. It covers my entire arm from my shoulders to my hand. It doesn't show up as long as I'm not using it, so I don't have to hide it with command spells. Take off your shirt, show it to me.
So that's why a mage family only has a single heir. I remember seeing her crest in Unlimited Blade Works, when she like lifts up her sleeve or whatever. If a family has multiple siblings, typically any not chosen to be the successor would not be taught magecraft and would instead live an ordinary life. Magic crest can't be passed down to them, so there's no point in them being a mage. Yeah, Shinji said that too, I get it. So that's why Sakura wasn't taught any magecraft. Right, but the crest inheritance stopped a few generations ago in the Mato family, so I assume Shinji only learned about magecraft. Honestly, those are the most annoying sorts out there. They can't really feel what magecraft is, and they still try to use it. Tosaka sighs a deep breath, swearing quietly. Well, I was supposed to teach you magecraft, but we got a little sidetracked. I need to come up with a different approach now that I know you don't have a magic crest. Let's call it a night for now. I'll prepare some things for you tomorrow, so we'll do it more then. Oh, I'll just have to trust you then. What do you mean you're going to prepare things? I mean a lot of things. Since you have no crest, you don't have a switch. I'm going to go in and tamper with your body, so we'll need medicine and other tools. A chill runs down my spine. What? What? I'll stop if you don't want to do it, but if so, there won't be much I can teach you. Well, I don't want to, but I'm still going to ask you. Whatever you say is probably the right way to go. Then that's what we'll do tomorrow. Alright, are you planning on training with Saber tomorrow too? Well, yeah, I'm concerned about the bounded field over the school, but there's still some time before it activates. I want to at least be able to fight by then. I see. Well, not that it's important to me, but it seems like you and Saber aren't getting along. Well, that... You managed to talk normally before dinner, but you all got all quiet at dinner. I just want to check. Are you two getting along? If you two end up bickering during battle, I'm going to suffer the consequences too, you know. It's just that something happened right before dinner, and now things are awkward. That's all, but I'm not sure if Saber and I are really getting along. When I spend all day dueling her, I think I got a sense of what Saber's like. I trust Saber as an ally, no question about that, but if someone asked me how I feel about Saber in other senses, I wouldn't know how to answer, because I lost all sense in that very moment. Huh, interesting. It's hard to say, but what about you, Tosaka? Do you like Saber? I do. There's nothing about her I don't like, really. She's strong, polite, and pretty. A huge difference from my Mr. Cynic. I see, so you like Saber. What? All I said was I like her more about her than I don't. Quit being so blunt or you'll make enemies. Oh, relax. I refuse. I've never been good with words anyway. I figured as much. You're never sarcastic or cynical. I bet you think of me as loud and annoying. Why would I think that? I like the way you say things. Otherwise, it wouldn't feel like it's coming from you. What? I like the hair flip. I like that her hair, like there's two frames. One is her hair out and one is it down. So you can have the hair like... There's some creative things with the sprites in this game. Crap. I might have struck a nerve. Tosaka turns away, pouting. But I have to admit, I feel a little better, even happy knowing that Tosaka likes Saber. The day ends. I still feel uneasy with Saber sleeping so close by, so I escape to the shed. I stop and look at the winter sky, not because the night sky is particularly beautiful. I'm just feeling the winter chill in a daze, doing nothing because it calms me. I don't know how much time passed. I think I hear footsteps in the darkness. Who's there? There's no answer. Footsteps approach and I feel a piercing presence. I crouch, ready to jump back at any time. Hey! I asked who's there! There's no answer. The footsteps never stop, and the person finally appears before me. It's Archer. Whoa. It's the servant who fought Lancer at school the other night. The red-armored knight Saber beat when she leapt over the wall. Are you Tosaka's servant, Archer? The man's lips curve upward. He smiled. Can I take that as confirmation? Something about him annoys me. For no reason I can really understand. I find myself irritated. I can't make myself like this guy. I've never talked to him before and he's never attacked me before. But I realize something the instant I see his face. I can't respect this man. Oh my gosh. There's no reason for it that I can think of, but he and I aren't going to get along. It's because you are a self-loathing dude and you just saw yourself. I'm probably not the only one who feels like this. Archers probably feels the same way. There must be a total of 3 people in this world with whom I'm just completely incompatible. That's how bad it is. I wouldn't be surprised if he was irritable around me too. What do you want? I thought you were going to stay on guard until your wounds healed up. That is my intention. The moment my wounds heal, I'm putting an end to this ridiculous alliance you two formed. So I've remained a spectator all this time since I believed there was nothing for me to say to you. So don't let me stop you from spectating then. There's nothing I want to talk to you about either. As much as I would like to do that, there's just one thing I cannot overlook. I hear you don't intend to let Saber fight. What's wrong with that? My reply is impulsive. He glares. With a fair amount of hostility, Archer makes it clear he sees right through me. Excuse me. I knew it. Only a brat would do something like that. You won't accept help from anyone. You'll do just everything yourself. You'll just do everything yourself. On top of it all, you don't want any casualties. That mentality disgusts me. What? You have no right to tell me that. I'm only doing what I think is right. You have no reason to complain. I do, actually. As a fellow servant, I understand Saber's hardship. Saber has a heavy weight to carry with a master like you. He's not lying. But what really ticks me off is I didn't want to hear this all from him of all people. Screw you! I'm not a burden to Saber. I'm gonna fight in her place, so there shouldn't be a problem. Are you saying she won't get hurt as long as she doesn't fight? Servants only exist to fight. Forbidding her to fight is blasphemous, though I doubt there's any point telling you that. Having said what was on his mind, Archer falls silent. A few minutes pass. The two of us just stare at each other. I gulp. His cold stare seems to be trying to probe my insides, and then suddenly... So what's your plan, Master of Saber? The Red Knight seems calm as she asks this question. What do you mean? Do you really expect to end this war without fighting? Do you think you'll never fight or kill anyone? I never said I won't fight. I'll fight if I need a fight. I see. But you won't kill anyone when you fight. Yeah. Got a problem with that? I have no intention of butting into your moronic reasons for doing what you do. I don't have the time, and I'm just not crazy enough to try. Archer turns his back to me. Don't get things confused, though. This champion of justice you're pretending to be, nothing more than a cleaner. You should know that only the survivor is going to have a chance to save anyone that way. I don't know why, but it felt like Archer was just beating up on me for no reason. Wait, what do you mean a champion of justice is just a cleaner? You should have figured it out by now. Listen, your approach won't undo a tragic death. That's the limitation you're working with. A champion of justice is someone who can only clean up a mess that's already been made. You'll never be able to save the very people you're hoping to save. That's not true. The idea that you can't save the person you're reaching out to save is wrong. An ideal is just that, an ideal. As long as you hold on to that ideal, the friction between it and reality will only get more intense. That's the path you're on right now. Someday you're going to face reality and you have to pay the price. The choices you've made will cost you many, many lives. Well, you should at least be prepared. By the time you realize how narrow-minded you've been, you have to figure out how to fix it, and who to punish for it. If you can't do that, then I suggest you abandon both your dream and your magecraft right now. Archer disappears into the darkness. I remember that conversation from Unlimited Blade Works. Listen, no matter what anyone does, there will always be those who can't be saved. All your ideal will let you save is the ideal itself. There is so little a human can do. But even so... Hey, wait! What the hell are you trying to say? My question is swallowed up by the darkness. Archer's already gone and I'm just talking to empty air. What the hell's with him? He just showed up and loaded a bunch of crap on me and disappeared. He was telling me that my thinking's too idealistic and I'm gonna suffer for it soon. But how can I decide something's wrong before I've even tried it? I'm ready. If I'm wrong, I'll just have to pay for that mistake with my life. That's my resolve as a mage. He doesn't have to remind me that. I can't stand that guy, but something he said bothers me. They can't be saved. Can I keep pursuing my ideal without ever looking back? I muttered to myself. It felt like that's what Archer wanted to say. Is that the end of the day? That's the end of the day. Okay, perfect timing because I need to go to bed. Okay, good stuff. This might be the end of a video. I'm not sure. But if it is, goodbye. See you next time.